Hi, welcome back to the Retic Rebellion Podcast. I'm Lee. I'm with Levi and Bill, and it is Retics versus versus ball pythons, and we have Zach Sumter with us, who is from Pida's Life. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, brother. It's gonna be Retics versus Pides. It sounds like, huh?
I mean, dude, I saw the name and it just came right out. But no, ball pythons versus retics. My bad. But I know you don't like pides though, right? That's like your least favorite
not
thing.
For me.
Right.
Not for me.
Not for you. I didn't think so. I don't know why I was thinking pides, but I apologize. All right. Hello. All right. So where do we want to start? Who wants to go first? We're fighting.
I'll go first.
All right.
I know Zach pretty well. It's this is our second round or something like that.
Third or fourth.
All right.
So Zach, kick us off, man. Who are you? Introduce yourself to the Retic crowd and let them know what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Zach Sumter. I breed ball pythons, only ball pythons, kind of a one-trick pony. I don't mind a little bit of controversy. I breed for a business. I breed for profit only. Started this for a business. I continued it as a business. From Arizona, got into it from my brother. My brother got me into it, and I think I'm coming up on year 7 this year. So I just started. I coming in. So I'm like 6.5 in right now.
Nice. How did you what was your start? Did you start with like a whole bunch or did you start with 1 or 2? Like, how did you do it?
So my brother was doing it for probably 7 or 8 years, and we were financially partnered together. And I had started going to shows and things like that, and I kind of fell in love with the hustle and bustle of it and thought I could do a little better than what some of the people I was seeing around. So I think within my first year, I probably threw like $200,000 at it, and went from 0 to probably 100, 150 in my first year, with about $200,000 thrown at it with equipment, a rat facility. At that time I had a rat shed, but I mean it's pricey pretty quick,
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I got a ball python from your brother back in the day.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. If you've touched or heard anything about a ball python in Arizona, really anybody in the reptile community, because he helps out in a lot of the groups, know my brother pretty well. So it was kind of nice to jump off his coattails, and keep going from there.
You know what? I mean, I might have got her like when you were just getting going or something like that, because I don't think she's very old. I mean, she's been breeding for a while now for me, but I still have her actually. But yeah, I got her from you guys. It's good snake. She eats. She is not a problem.
Yeah, I don't have many issues. I mean, I have 400-ish keepers right now, and I probably have 2 that are problems. I mean, I find ways around it pretty quick, so I don't have too many issues. I know a lot of people talk about issues or feeding. I can't get it to eat. I can't get it to this. To be honest, most of the time, it's something you're doing wrong.
That kind of led me into my thing. I was going to say, even though it's supposed to be versus, I think you could drop a little knowledge on for us, because I was going to say, if you don't have that issue, what do you think the issue is when people are having issues with ball pythons that don't eat? Because I would agree, most of the time it's a keeper thing or condition thing. So
temperature or how they're keeping it, whether it's on paper, on different kinds of bedding. Some snakes just want to eat something different, whether it's a rat, a mouse, an ASF. A lot of people are transitioning their collections to ASFs. I don't necessarily think it's the smartest move. ASFs are they're easier to breed, but they don't last as long. They don't get as big as rats, so you have to feed more, so it's more costly. But just for getting them to eat, I mean, there's little tricks you can try, but once you get them eating, you just stay on that, stay consistent with it. Don't try to change it up again. Some people will be like, oh, okay, this one eats ASFs. Next week, I'm going to try to get it on rats. No, it ate an ASF. Keep it going. Stay consistent with what that animal is doing. Mark that tub. That one eats ASFs. It is what it is.
Do you feed live or frozen thawed or mixture?
I feed live only live.
Okay.
It's just easier with a big collection. It's easier. I can run in here. I can come in here with 500-600 rodents. Throw one in every single tub. I usually give it about an hour or two, and then I come back and run through every tub. If something didn't eat, I don't have to throw it away. Like a frozen thawed, I've heard people, refreeze them. I think that's the craziest thing I ever heard. I would never do that.
No.
But with a live, I can just toss it in another tub or, put it back in the bucket and send it back out into the rat room. And a lot of people are like, oh, the rat's going to eat my snake. If the rat had food and water before you brought it into your snake room, it's not going to eat your snake unless you leave it in there for a couple days. Now, could it bite it and do some damage? Absolutely. That can happen, I've seen snakes pop their jaw at a place by striking at a frozen thawed animal and hitting the side of a tub. So, it can happen no matter what. But for a collection this size, live is just the easiest thing in the world.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. Does it happen pretty regularly, when you feed that you're putting rats back, or is it just you do that for just in case?
Well, so for me, when I'm in full swing of breeding, if there's not a male in the tub, I'm still gonna throw a rat in with that female, and even though she's probably off food and not eating because she's building eggs or whatever reason,
yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'll pull from there, but I'm gonna offer every time. It's just sometimes they eat, and as breeders, you guys understand. If you can get another rat in there, in them to eat it, it's just better for the female,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because I was gonna say this is probably our first retic versus ball pythons. I only feed frozen thawed. I don't feed live at all, but I don't have a very little, or what's never really come to my mind with them is ever having to worry about throwing food away. I never have to worry about food not being eaten. So that's why I kind of like the retics, because the frozen thawed, there is very little to no food refusal. And, for me, the only time they refuse food is usually my females. It's usually for a good reason. So I kind of all right, I can throw that rat away. It's for a good cause because she's, gravid or something of that effect. But even then, usually I always had something as a backup, but I would just not prepare food for that one. And so it would get whatever. If the female ate, cool. I would just go do that one's rat. If not, then I would just feed it the female's food that didn't eat, and then no one missed a meal, and I didn't have to go do it. So it's that was my method.
See, my argument to that would be okay, you fed that female, say all your, you laid out, I'm just small numbers, right? You laid out 5 rabbits, all 5 got eaten, and then you look at that female and she still looks aggressive. She wants another one. You got to go re-thaw another one, rerun through the process that you ran through and give her another one, right? For the live, I love it because I got that big female. She's growing. I'm trying to pack her on, and she looks aggressive. She wants another one. Boom, just toss another live one in there,
Yeah. I think, for me, because I'm working with super dwarves, I've very rarely, but I usually never have to feed a double meal. I usually just feed a really big fucking meal.
That would be that's a good versus conversation there, the size of food. Because you're feeding what, a meat, not even a medium rat, small rat to ball pythons. We're feeding all the way up to fucking pigs, depending on the size of the retic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Cost, this, that, right. And it's unrealistic to sit there and breed pigs. I get people to do it, but.
Yeah, no.
That's
why,
crazy.
Again, that's why I didn't go mainland stuff and I went to the dwarves and super dwarf stuff, because I primarily wanted to try to only feed rats if I had to. But some of the dwarf stuff, you will have to end up feeding some of the smaller rabbit stuff. Even that's not too bad. And if you're feeding them at rabbit size, these kind of snakes, they're not eaten very often.
Once a month.
How often do you feed your ball pythons when they're, I guess, what is your feeding schedule like for your ball pythons?
Yeah, weekly.
Okay.
Yeah. The hatchlings I'll probably do every 10 to 14 days. But if I'm growing it to breed it, it's every 7 days. And then the hatchlings that are growing, like to grow for myself, I'll usually feed them twice a week.
Interesting. Okay. That's because we kind of do the opposite. We feed ours like more often in the beginning. So like we'll be weekly in the beginning, and then we'll go to 10 days, 14 days, 3 weeks, 1 month. Depending on how big they're getting and what you're feeding them, some people will feed them every couple months.
Yeah, that would be costly. That would be amazing.
Yeah, at first I'm like, oh, you're feeding all those big things. The pigs are going to cost a lot. And then we had a guy on, he broke it down. He goes, yeah, that pig's like $30 or whatever. And I'm feeding it over, once every 3 months. And he broke it down. I'm like, oh, shit, that is actually really cheap. So never mind. It's way cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah, with the rats right now, if I was buying rats, dude, it would be crazy. Like,
yeah,
I feed small. Yeah, I feed small rats, no matter how big the female is. Just small rats. I don't want to keep the rats in my rat room that longer. Anything over a small, they're eating too much food. I mean, I'd rather just feed them off or sell them.
Yeah. I don't know why it stuck with me. I was watching, I think, one of Dave Kaufman's videos, and he was interviewing some ball python breeder, I think like in Spain or something like that. And this guy had a giant female. And he's like, one small rat every 10 days. And she was just giant. Like, it's crazy how they will convert even like a small rat. Even a big ball python will convert that to size pretty effectively.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously I feed every 7 days, but it's like, I don't ever see a lump. Like, I'll feed them 2 or something if they're still looking aggressive. But I've just noticed those smaller meals, they digest them faster than, you pump them with a big old fat one and they sit there on their side for a couple days. And I don't even think they break that rat down. Like, sometimes when they shit it out, you can see, a lot of fur or almost parts in it. And it's like, they didn't break that thing down. Once I moved to feeding smalls, I never see anything.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess that's another versus the ball python and Retics metabolisms are completely different.
Yeah. But it is nice that he only really, even for like the biggest of his, is really only like on small rats. That's pretty effective. Yeah. It's pretty,
I couldn't
pretty
imagine
effective
going
and cost effective.
Couldn't imagine going back to just small rats. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, Jess is an SD and she's taking rabbits.
Yeah.
Celeste is already on
I don't have to keep a
pigs.
bottle of alcohol around though either when I'm feeding.
I don't.
No. Well, you got a little bigger set of balls then.
No, I just work with a lot smaller snakes.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. None of mine are crazy big, but like Levi's got to be more prepared for sure. Bill in a year or so is gonna have to be more prepared once his mainlands start getting their size going. But I mean, the biggest one I have right now is one of Bill's snakes. And she's like 9.5 feet ish, maybe 10. Like 10's really pushing it though on her. She's just thick.
Yeah, there's nothing like feeding a mainland. It's the tongs, like the safety tongs, the 4-foot tongs I have, like it's mandatory. I will not do it. Shout out to Brian Barchak. That dude had balls of fucking steel because he fed his mainlands by hand. Fuck that. I will never do that. This girl scares the shit out of me with tongs.
I definitely wouldn't be doing it with the Jag, that's for sure.
I don't think that's a bad thing right there. I mean, you got an animal that you are scared borderline to feed, or you have to have a 4-foot tool to feed. Like that animal can't be around your kids, it can't be around your dog, it can't be around anything. Like, what are you gonna do with that animal?
You break the food motivation. If food motivated, yes, it's a different. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. If there's a food response, you're gonna get you need to practice precaution. If you break the food response, it's a puppy dog.
Okay, so like throw the food out the window. So your kid's gonna go in and play with that snake. That's
you'd have to be absolutely retarded to let a small child go play with a giant snake without supervision and following the protocol. But no, that never in my household.
Right. So what are we doing with retics?
They're pets. You still pull them out when they're broken of food motivation. You don't really have to worry about it. I mean, every animal that's in my collection, I put them through a stress test when the food motivation's broken. Okay, this one's more of a look, don't touch. This one went out as a puppy dog. Anybody can come up, mess with it, tug its tail. The same thing is like, I guarantee, ball pythons, right? If a small child walks into your room, there's a couple tubs, I know at least 2 in there, that you're going to tell the child, don't open that tub, that snake's going to snap at you.
Yes, but he's not going to do anything that can really harm that thing. His teeth are not going to shred him. He's not going to be able to choke that kid out. He's not going to be able to eat that kid.
Yeah.
Tongue feed every time. Or are you asking Zach?
Yeah, I tongue feed every time as well. But yeah, I mean, and that's why, I mean, to be fair, that's why I did go with the mainland. I mean, this would be a good super dwarves versus mainlands, because there are a lot of these things that like apply to mainlands that don't really apply to like super dwarves, because now you're talking like stuff that is equivalent, like head size and stuff, to a ball python. So as far as damage, it's very much equivalent too, but you do have the same kind of food drive.
Right. I think super dwarfs are a realistic pet. Mainlands they're not a pet. They cannot be a pet. They are a grown man's toy, but other than that, they cannot be a pet.
I
wouldn't even categorize. I'm here. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So okay,
I mean, I'm kind of interested.
Let's go German Shepherds, right? Not every German Shepherd you can allow a child around. You can even say Chihuahuas. It depends on the animal. Once you know your animal, that's where you declare it a pet or a man's toy or a visual animal, right?
Okay. Let's break it down. A food tamed German Shepherd, a nice German Shepherd. You've had that dog since it was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to go inside and let your kid go outside and play with that dog, right?
Correct.
You will never, no matter how long you had your retic, and let's only talk about mainlands for a minute. You will never let your kid be alone with that snake. No matter, you had it since a baby all the way up. It's never bitten you outside of feeding. You cannot compare a retic to a dog.
Well, but also, Zach, people have these things locked up. I mean, they're not just out roaming. I mean, I've got these little dogs. You've seen them. I got I got all these baby dog, little dogs, and my retics are just shut up from them. They don't get around them. There's a protocol I use to make sure that they're locked up properly every time I'm in and out of that room. And, we don't have an issue. I think the same thing would have to hold true if you had a kid. Of course, you wouldn't want your child just unsupervised going around your big snakes. I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah, that's a given. And I mean, as like a pet, the dog, I probably started the dog argument incorrectly, but there are dogs that people have kids with that they keep the dog and the kids separate because the dog isn't known to play well at certain given times. It's the same circumstance. Like, you have to supervise every interaction. I mean, in all honesty, you read enough cases about dogs turning on kids that really you should supervise that too. Unless that kid is 100% trained around that dog, you've got your kid trained as well as the dog. They have to be equal to each other. Otherwise, something could go sideways. And again, if that dog decides it's going to grab that kid, it's not going to be a good fucking time. It never turns out well, right? So everything has its precautions. Everything has its realm of possibilities.
What's the name of this episode?
Retics versus ball pythons.
And that dogs versus...
It's not dogs. You keep talking about dogs.
So here's the thing that I would say is, I know, again, situations are situational, so no one take what I'm saying right now as like the generalization or anything like that. But yeah, I definitely have retics in my collection right now that are technically mainlands. They're just some locality blood, but not enough to really be considered dwarf or anything. That 100%, whether she's this size that she is now, which is like 3 feet or 3.5 feet, she's like a year old or so, or whether she's 15 years old and at 14 feet, she is one snake that I absolutely 100% with all confidence would let anyone around. Kids, babies, anyone. And honestly, with the way that I've worked with her and how smart they are, I would honestly let kids go open her cage and get her out. That's how well tempered she is, personality wise. She's the closest. I always tell people, and it's not an exaggeration, she literally is the closest thing to a dog I've seen and experienced and worked with when it comes to a snake, or especially a retic.
Sylvia too.
Flip side, I have a male that I 150% wouldn't trust any kid, mine or babies, around or to go open the cage either. So I have both. So I think the situations are situational. But I hear what you're saying because of the ball pythons, the lack of damage and the size and stuff like that. Even if they go and open it and they get struck, it's not an issue. You know what I mean? It's like the risk isn't as high. So I do understand that.
I guess a good question would be like, so like I want to argue with you guys about it back and forth, but what is your purpose like of breeding these? And again, I guess to stick even on the mainlands, to breed those, what would you be breeding those for?
So I'm going to probably exit out of this because I don't think I don't think there's any purpose for breeding mainlands anymore. I personally don't. I don't think there's any real reason for it unless there's only like certain morphs or something that come in mainlands. But even then, I feel like that's a shelf life. It's like you get the morphs, you stabilize them, you confirm them. Then it's time to get them into localities. It's time to get them into super dwarfs. It's time to make them smaller. That's my personal belief. And I've kind of felt that way for a long time when it comes to mainland retics.
So if you want to make something that's never been made into super dwarf, you got to have a mainland and run it to a pure super dwarf, 100%er.
So are you guys breeding anything that has nothing to do with super dwarfs?
Yeah,
Not
I'm breeding
really.
mainland. I mean, this is my argument, and I really wish some of the mainland keepers were in here to hear this one. There is a purpose in breeding mainlands, 100%. Are they for everybody? No. Are they for people that desire to work with them? Absolutely, 100%. There is a time and a place and a person that is destined to own mainlands. There are people that want the monsters, that want the giant snakes, that will take care of them, that will follow the responsible levels of keeping. And there are plenty of people out there. Mainlands have got this rap like pit bulls, like they're these giant dangerous animals that just randomly attack people and do all these things. It's not true. With the right precautions, the right intelligence, they are great pets. You have to take precaution. You have to study your animal. You have to know your animal. But they are phenomenal animals. They're great to have out under supervision. Yes, a child can interact with a mainland. Again, yeah, a ball python you can just set around their neck and they can watch TV with. But that's also a pet rock, no offense. Versus a mainland's going to move around. You're going to be able to interact with it. You can watch its intelligence. You can watch it move and think as it's moving. Before it makes a full movement, it thinks about where it's going. It thinks about what it's doing. It's going to go up and down the couch. It's going to go around the living room. It's one of the coolest things you'll ever get to see in your life, watching a 16-foot animal move around a living room.
They're personable too. I mean, a lot of them want to be on you. They'll climb from the desk to the chair and on top of me, and I'm doing stuff. I'll take them and put them in the other side of the free roam room that I have, and they'll come right back to me, man. I've got this one that is extra that Lee has. You've seen her. Everybody, I think, has seen her, Sylvia, but she's extra special too. I mean, you come in the room and she's coming to me. She comes to me. I mean, things like this are just to experience with a snake is just epic.
I'm just my wonders is like, from my understanding, a mainland to a mainland clutch is what, 30 to 50 eggs?
It can be
potentially
higher.
Could be higher, it could be lower.
Right. So what do you do with that? Like I agree the one-offs or with the right animal and the right person, always going to be gold, right? Right animal, right person. But when you breed something that spits out, let's say the low end, let's say 30. So that clutch spits out 30. You are responsible for getting rid of those 30 and whatever, obviously you're going to sell them or even give them away. you're going to be stuck with 30 animals that you have to feed or you have to get rid of to people who have no idea what they're getting into. Or you're going to tell me you're going to go out of your way and find 30 people that are ready to handle a 15 plus foot snake. It's like sulcatas. Sulcatas sell like hotcakes, and then people have no idea what they're getting into. This 100, 200-pound turtle. And again, we're not on the turtle game, but you're responsible. Like I breed and I produce 200 to 400 ball pythons. And do I find the best keepers? No. I probably find some people who treat the animal wrong, or do I do that on purpose? Absolutely not. But they buy the animal and then they do whatever. But it's not something that they're going to be surprised about or not be able to handle it just by its sheer size, by its natural growth.
Right. So, and that comes down to the seller. And I get not every seller is a responsible seller. But yes, I mean, you can ask Lee, first person in hand, even selling a dwarf that's going to get 12 to 14 feet. It is one of my main talking points is this animal is going to be up towards 14 feet long. This is not a ball python. This is not a colubrid. This is going to be a big snake that has all of these prerequisites. You have to understand what you're doing. You have to understand every time you open that enclosure, this is what your expectation has to be, no matter what. I don't care how well you know that animal. This has to be an expectation. It's identical to working with hogs. If you follow protocol and you do all the right things, this is how you keep this animal. It is a expectation that is set before a sale. So producing up to 30, yes, there are potentially 30 people out there that can handle it, that are ready for it. You just have to vet them. And if I don't feel comfortable with the sale, I've got no problem saying no. I don't do this full time. It's not a business for me. I can go, no, I don't feel like this is a correct thing to do. I don't feel like you're ready. You need to go home and do some research.
I vet everybody too.
But the argument,
it's easy to say no.
But
I believe you three might vet somebody, right? But retic breeders as a whole, and even when you get to a point to, if you dropped 2 to 3 mainland clutches in a year and you have 100 to 200 babies, well, you might, but I wouldn't believe somebody's going to keep saying no because they think that person might not be able to handle it. No, you got to let them go.
I'm not going to jump into the gory details of it, but there are other options too.
Of course they are. But then it circles back to like, what are we doing with this animal that is almost uncontrollable for 80% of the people? 80% of the reptile community, that animal is not controllable for them.
Yeah, it's a big snake, small market, small snake, big market. Like it's simple philosophy there. And I agree. I mean, that is my issue, and take up my personal one is I agree and kind of agree totally with your argument of like, you're producing a lot of babies. That's a lot of potential, size and danger that you're putting out there. You do have to vet every single person, and it is hard, and there isn't a lot of people. That's why I don't that's why I don't have really any mainlands and don't plan on producing very many, if at all, but at the flip side, not every mainland's a monster either. Not every mainland is, 15, 16, 18 feet. Can they be? Yes. A lot of them are. Yeah. But that's not like the typical thing. I mean, an average mainland male is like around 12 feet or less. I mean, like 9 to 12 feet. So, I mean, it's still big. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like there are a bunch of 20-foot snakes all around. Like, it's a lot of work. It's really hard to get that.
You also have to throw pricing out there. You have to throw like a conversation that an argument I would throw back on the ball python market is that everything's overproduced. These animals are being wasted. Essentially the same argument, just one to the other, right? Where are all these ball pythons going? We know where they're going. We know what's happening to them. The same thing, the same argument as what you're having with the mainlands, right? Production of I don't even know how to, not undesirable, but basic morphs. I would agree with you, Zach. Like a fucking wild type mainland there's probably not much room there's no need to produce that at this point. So, and the clutches, like for our example, my argument would be when we do a mainland pecan, if we produce 50 of them, even if we produce 70 of them, those are all going to go to people in the mainland market. That's a desirable morph. It's an expensive morph. It's a beautiful morph.
It's new.
It's new. There's a lot of different variables in here. It's not like I'm taking two wild type mainlands, putting them together and be like, oh, I'm going to sell wild type mainlands. I'm going to get rich off of this. That's not it'd be like a brand new ball python breeder grabbing two normals, right? Pairing them together and hoping for the best. Like we all know normals aren't, you basically give them away at this point.
I agree with all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about all mainlands though. I mean, that's not even, we're mainly super dwarf driven for the most part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but I mean, I gotta throw blows over the mainland though, because I've been having this argument my entire fucking career over mainlands and why they are a part of the hobby and why they should stay. Right. And again, I agree. There are a lot of people out there that shouldn't have their hands on them. And I've dealt with those snakes firsthand, but I strongly believe, listening to some of the more recent podcasts, that the mainland market has flipped that script completely. Again, talking about desirable morphs being bred. I'll throw Pied out there, right? Well, let's go Pied versus Pied. I think a 16-foot, 17-foot Pied is more phenomenal looking than any Pied in the ball python market. You can't beat the size of a Pied and its beauty. You just can't. And when you sell that animal, that's not an animal that just gets neglected. That's an expensive morph. It's taken care of, and you want to see it. Like I don't know if you've ever seen a 16-foot Pied. They're fucking beautiful. They're incredible animals. That's when if your intention is to breed those, absolutely.
I mean, again, I agree with all of that, other than when you get to one clutch is as much as I make with 400 snakes in my entire year. What are you going? You're not going to find that many good keepers for that big of a snake.
How many babies do you produce a year?
Like 200 to 300. With like keeper wise animals, I have probably about 400. Obviously, not every one of them drops every year.
I love that.
But my baby count is 200 to 300.
200 to 300. Right. So you have a bunch of animals, right? So like I see like the argument there is like we would need about, if we just use the average of 30, we need about 10 mainland females to be breeding to hit the same number of what you're producing. Right. So if we're only using one, or if most people are only breeding a couple mainland females, I don't think that's really that big of a deal, because it's a very small fraction of what you ball python guys are breeding, and there's a ton more of you guys doing it. So I think the numbers are just overproduced in that particular area. But what I will agree with is there can't be anyone breeding retics like a ball python. There can't be anyone that has 200 or 300 retics.
Right, but we're
Yeah,
also using
crazy.
numbers that are unrealistic. A 30 is an unrealistic number. If you have a mainland that is healthy and ready to breed, 30 is the low end. That's like me saying my average clutch is 2.
I mean, it depends. It really honestly depends.
Well, I mean, hold on.
Average is probably like an average normal size female is probably somewhere around the 30 to 45, like really on average. There's these exceptionally large females that will lay around 80 or so, but same with like Burmese pythons. Of course, we're not going into that, but like they do lay a lot of eggs. I do agree. Like that's not a
right, and it's very overwhelming too. Like again, we're not talking about you guys specifically as retic breeders. We're talking about retics as a whole, right?
Exactly. Like, yeah.
Well,
so
that
when
being
the
said,
Joe
retics as a whole,
45 eggs.
A third of retics though is super dwarves. So then you have to let them come into the argument. And super dwarves are manageable size. They're a lot safer. They don't produce nearly as many, and they're not as easy to produce. And it takes longer to get them to age to make them produce. So they're the perfect retic. Even the dwarf localities are a perfect, retic. Mainlands are arguable. They are the biggest like wart on the scales of all retics, but there is still 2/3 of it that are way manageable, way safe, and can be responsibly reproduced, because the market can be as big as the ball python market for them, because it just takes people realizing what they are and that they're real and having them in their hands and realizing hey, these aren't too big.
Average clutch?
It depends. I mean, it really depends, because if you're talking like a mixed locality, like a 50, like a percentage one, not everyone's the same. But if you're talking like pure locality, like Super Dwarf, you're talking like 8 to 16 if you're really, really lucky.
That's a more manageable clutch. I'm just, for a retic, if somebody's like, hey, I'm going to get into retics and I'm going to breed them, like you guys breed. Like when I don't have 200 babies at one time. They're spread out through my year. If I have like you said, even let's say 30, 40, we'll call it 30 on the mainlands. If I have 3 clutches, that's about 100 babies at one or at 30 babies at one time is crazy for someone to handle. And so what they're going to do is they're going to give them to any dumbass who will buy it or take it. And again, I'm not talking about you guys. We're talking about retics in general. So
hold on. Pause. Hold on. No, I'm not going to accept that argument anymore. I beg to differ.
What argument?
Are you in the retic community?
No.
Okay. So I beg to differ. That mentality has changed. That's not a fair mentality to have of the retic market anymore. Overall, that they're not pushing let's say they sell 5 and they've got 25 remaining. The other 25 aren't just being given to any dumbass anymore. That's not how the retic market is operating. Yes, you're going to have your exceptions to the rule.
That's humans.
Right. You're going to have your exceptions. There are still a couple of dumbasses that are out there, but the community has done a very well job of controlling that because of the harm and this exact issue of being labeled as these irresponsible breeders. That's not the case anymore. It's not the common thing to run into. I've been to tables. I've seen more and more podcasts coming out, more and more mainland breeders talking about it, about doing the right thing. It's not 8 years ago, even with the mainland market. It has evolved. It's gotten smarter. It's gotten more responsible. There are other options than to just give these animals away. And again, some of the money that's being invested now, again, just like the ball python market, right? When you get into it now, if you're not buying these certain animals, you're not going to make money. And that's a given fact. You have to invest in these higher dollar animals, and you're not just giving these higher dollar morphs away. It's just not happening. These breeders aren't just throwing them in the trash can and calling it a day. It's evolved.
I mean, giving away is crazy, but if they roll up to the show and they have 30 on their table and they can sell all 30 to whoever's willing to give them the money, human nature, this isn't a community thing, it's a human nature. They're going to sell every one of them to whoever paid them for it. I guarantee 70% of keepers are going to do that. I guarantee it. Like you know that's human nature. That if somebody rolls up and pays their asking price or close to it, they'll vet them a little bit. Like, hey, and I'm not saying, I bet every single retic breeder who sells at shows tells people, hey, this is gonna get 20 feet potentially. It tells them everything and then sends them home. But they paid the asking price and they sold all of them to whoever was willing to pay for them. And then now that person is just overwhelmed with this huge thing, right? Like a ball python, like, don't get me wrong, people kill probably the same amount as they do retics, but it doesn't get to a point to where they can't handle the animal.
Yeah. Right. And I'm going to stand 10 toes on, I think that is the less common thing that's happening. I've been to tables where nobody knows, the breeder did not know who I was, and I was vetted pretty heavily. I've tested this theory in lifetime. Like, it's not the uncommon thing to see vetting and responsible breeding in the mainland community. It's not what it was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I will say, like, the mainland community has really made an effort in trying to, like, breed more responsibly as far as, like, not doing mass producing numbers. Whatever they're breeding for a purpose and an actual reason. Like, Like it makes sense. Like what you're kind of like your argument. Like we're all a part of the real world. We understand it makes no fucking sense to breed a normal retic to a normal retic, mainland wise, and then go sell those to anyone. Like that makes no fucking sense. So like the retic community is pretty good. It's like they're gonna sell animals that will sell that are desirable, and then they'll perfect those morphs and that those kind of things. Like what you see a lot is like people really like specializing in like there's a guy that's good with ocelot. There's a guy that's like a tiger guy. There's like a pied guy. Like, and they kind of really specialize and hone in on these morphs and maybe add a little sprinkle of another morph in there. And it's kind of like, it's really art going at work where there isn't a mass producing thing, you know, with it. There is that going on. But the problem is that I see, which doesn't get talked about a lot, is when you vet and you sell to a responsible keeper, but then that keeper decides for whatever reason, whatever circumstances, legit or not, has to then rehome that snake. They're the ones that end up putting that snake in irresponsible and unprepared hands and will take whatever money or just give it away. I would say it's the people that are keeping those snakes and then reselling or giving them away after.
And that's every damn reptile across the board. That's monitors, that's frogs, frogs are amphibians. I'm an idiot. That's fucking sulcata tortoises. That's fucking mainland, super dwarfs, ball pythons, hybrids, all of it. Every reptile across the board is unfortunately subject to that happening. And if that's the case of deciding what animal you're going to get, you just don't get into reptiles.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I'm all for furthering the project. Like, we do all kinds of crazy shit to further the project. Like I started off with this, you know, I do this to make money. Like, this isn't my only income, right? Right.
This is another thing that I wasn't going to bring up, but the commenters that brought it up. It's a common thing that goes on when you have a giant clutch of mainland reticulated pythons. As long as it's done, again, we're going to bring up this big word, responsible. You're not just breeding wild types to breed wild types and feeding them off because you fucked up and made too many snakes. I'm in pursuit of this next game-changing project. Let's say you have a clutch at 30. 15 come out, the exact project that's going to further grow the industry. 15 come out normal or in that like lower gene pool. You can't sell them to responsible keepers. I stand 10 toes on this. If they are sold as feeders to snake-eating snakes, I'm for it. It's the same thing as buying a rodent. You're going to feed an animal that needs to be fed, and it's just the circle of life. I stand 10 toes on it. But again, responsible. Just don't do it for reckless intent.
I do not want to touch base on how people cull, right? I don't care. That is not the important part. The important part that I want to talk about, in my opinion, that's important is they cull for, okay, say again, let 30 eggs pop out, and they have 5 to 10 of them that are what they absolutely wanted, and they cull the rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What other reptile is that normal?
It should be in ball pythons, but you guys refuse to do it.
Right.
You guys have 50,000 fucking ball pythons on Morph Market. And to be honest, it probably is one of the better practices that could reduce the numbers. So those snakes aren't stuck drying up in a fucking 10-gallon enclosure to the kid that shouldn't have been sold it for $5.
I hear you. But it's not normal. In the retic industry, culling is normal. It's a part of the practice.
I've not heard anyone talk about culling snakes, especially like retics, until I started like working with Levi. Like that honestly wasn't super common knowledge. Like they, at least not when I came into it, and I've been in it for 10 years and I've been heavily researching retics, but again, mainly super dwarves, but culling was
I've always heard about it, right? And of course nobody's going to be like, hey, yeah, I breed retics, and yes, I openly call this many. No one wants to talk about it.
I don't know which side you're on, but yes, it's not. It's become more of a public talking point. I've known about this from the get-go. I've been told by
Oh,
other
who
mainland
is
breeders
this?
that it's an option.
Who is this person right here?
Who?
Get off your high horse. This is ball pythons versus retics. I'm supposed to be on a high horse to argue my side. If you can't handle a debate, click out.
I honestly didn't know like who the fuck he was, which one of us he was talking about, because the comments are delayed, and I don't know who when, and they're popping up like when I'm talking. I'm like, was he talking about me?
Right. Like, yeah. Also, keep in mind this is a debate, and this is just again, it's back and forth. These are conversations that I believe these conversations need to happen, right? Because now we've got eyes from the ball python market, and now we've got eyes from the retic market, and how each community is seen. Like Zach having the opinion that he does actually helps us, especially my fellow mainland breeders. I hope to God you guys watch this, and if you have criticism of me, please put it out there. But see that mainlands need to be represented in a better light, because I stand 10 toes on this. Like 10 years ago, I would be more on your level, Zach, of like, okay, this rat fits. But now, like, I beg to differ. Like there are so many mainland keepers that are just not, they've always been great, but now they've stepped up. They've created podcasts. They're putting the knowledge out there. It's common talks. It's, hey, vetting is important. Like all these things are being pushed because I think it finally made its way into such a small niche community. Like, hey, this is how we're seen. This isn't right. It's the same thing as like coming from the mainland community, looking at the ball python market is, damn, these guys overproduce animals and they're a bunch of irresponsible keepers. Like, this is ridiculous. They're selling snakes to kids for $5. Like, what is this? But that's not the case at all. That's not the common. The common is Zach, MJ, Miguel, fucking Billy. I can name 100 responsible ball python keepers. I can name 2 irresponsible ones. That's just the negative tends to take over the positive. Negativity attracts attention. Positive gets shoved into the shadows. But hold on, real back there.
Oh, go ahead.
Back to the culling conversation. Yes, it's an option. It's not always needed. Some people agree with it. Some people are going to disagree with it. It's come out to be more public. I've known about it from the get-go. And again, I think it's a lot like cohabitation, right? Like, it's a conversation that doesn't get brought to the public light because people immediately jump on that bandwagon of, oh, you're fucking evil. You're feeding snakes, because they've got this like emotional attachment to it, and I understand it. But at the same time, you got to understand, okay, if I'm doing this again with this big word, I want everyone that gets fired up and like ready to jump down my throat because I brought up the word culling, responsible breeding with responsible care measure taken in the culling. If you're feeding a snake-eating snake, that is a responsible feeding. If you're breeding rodents and feeding off rodents and don't have a problem with that, then it's hypocrisy at its finest. Rats are way more intelligent than snakes. They have a higher emotion. I can list 100 reasons on why feeding off a rat's a bad idea and why we should feel ashamed of ourselves, but that's not that's not the point. An animal needs to eat, and again, responsibly done. If you pair 2 wild types together and go out and sell and don't sell them all, and then you call them off because you can't keep them, that is irresponsible. I do not stand 10 toes with you culling. Now, if you're doing a project that further improves the hobby, where again, let's say pecan to pecan, and we get some wild types out of it, those wild types don't sell to responsible keepers. They're fed to a snake-eating snake, and again, improving the hobby, right? Because now you're not just ending a snake's life, you're improving another snake's life, because snake-eating snakes have been proven moving them over to rodents isn't the healthiest thing for them. They don't thrive. So now you're causing an animal to thrive. Well, potentially you're ending a life, but you're also saving it from misery. People don't want to talk about, again, the negatives don't get brought up. I do sell that wild type. It's a normal. It goes to an irresponsible keeper that's lied and BS his way through the vetting. It gets 14 foot long. It doesn't get fed. It's starving. It shrivels up in the enclosure and dies a miserable death. Or it gets so big that it scares the keeper and he neglects it. And then he gets so scared one day he kills it. Again, a miserable death. Miserable death versus A peaceful euthanization fed to a snake-eating snake. In all actuality, that is the circle of life. And again, peaceful euthanization versus suffering the years that it takes to get that snake up the size to become scary, and then for it to shrivel up and die. That's torture.
You're talking about mainlands.
Mainlands,
Right,
yes. Yes, this is all mainland. This is based around the mainlands.
Yeah, I don't agree with it, but
yeah, I don't. My thought is like you're right. Like some of the normals I sell or whatever, like something could happen. Like someone not take care of them, this, that, or the other. For me as a breeder, though, I do not breed unless I think I can rehome it in some way, shape, or form. I've rehomed it for $5 all the way up to trading for a brand new Mercedes. Like it doesn't, but I believe everything I make, I can rehome in some way, shape, or form. I do not ever have the thought in my mind of calling it. Now, if it comes out of the egg, it's deformed, this and that, and it's still alive, yeah, I'm calling it for sure. And then I got a couple buddies who got some, snake eating snakes and blah, blah, blah. Right. But to call it because I made too many. No, never.
Yeah. I mean, again, I get it. I'm understanding that as a fact of life now, but my experience the last 10 years when I've gotten heavily into retics and seeing them and stuff, that hasn't been even something that's been brought up to me. And I've seen just people I don't see a lot of just plain wild types being like made, to be honest with you. If you go on Morph Market right now, you'll be hard pressed to find just a normal. Like you really will. Like if you're seeing something that's a wild type right now, there's a good chance it's het for at least albino. If not, it's like some sort of triple het animal, like which those animals do have value. So it's like nowadays these things aren't just being mass produced for no fucking reason. Like there's hardly any wild types, like I say, that aren't just multi-hets now. It's crazy.
I mean, right. I agree. Like I'm all about furthering a project. Yeah. It's just, I think for you guys, it's so hard, like to further a project, like even just to make double hets. Like, okay, I'm going to make double hets or triple hets. You're going to make 30 of them. Like,
yeah.
It's so hard that culling has become normal for it.
Yeah,
because to further a project, I only need 10 of them. Okay, 20. Here you go.
You can say it's normal, but it's not. I've never done it. It's not normal to me, and I've never heard about it. It may be normal to someone else. Like it is normal for you to be breeding what you're breeding, and you know what you're breeding to sell and move those things. But you're not everyone. You're not every ball python breeder. There's probably, for every one of you, there's probably 3 irresponsible ball python breeders mass producing, culling, killing things, just not coming to light. Just like you're saying there is retics. Well, you have three breeders right here who want to do every single thing, who do every single thing right, and are doing responsible breeding. So it's like you're making us argue a point that has no relevance or validity to us at all. So I'm honestly like, don't even want to argue this point because it has no validation to us and to what we believe the market should be. And I'm not going to argue on the behalf of someone I don't even agree with what they're doing to begin with. So that's kind of where I'm coming with that. And because of retics having the bad rap and that bad reputation, that's why triple threats here is because of the super dwarf and dwarfs, because that's the responsible way to push retics forward, is to make them smaller.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way around it.
I'm not breeding nothing but mainlands. I may produce a clutch of mainlands, but again, if I produce that clutch, it's not going to be a bunch of wild types or single gene animals that aren't going to go, again, in that bracket of like, this is definitely going to sell. There's some money that needs to be invested. It's not going to be an animal that's lightly just cast aside because I spent $10 on it. It's chasing pandas, for example. Pandas are desirable as all get up, and every piece of the panda project is hot moving animals. Like your golden child mollies, if you produce those, they're gonna move. And at 16 foot, apotheosis is a fucking attention giver. Like take that snake out, put it in the sun at a park, and you're gonna have everybody and their mom coming over.
But hands up,
let's take a left turn.
No, but hands up, like this is where I'm going to agree with Zach though. Like I think apotheosis is a great and perfect example of why mainland retics are not, like, they're not good pets. They're not good responsible. I held apotheosis for fucking like 20 minutes total. So I don't even know how you deal with like owning that snake. That is way too much. That is way too much of a fucking snake for anyone to have. Like, that's my personal opinion. I don't think mainland retics.
Hold on. Why are you guys talking to other
is
people,
like 16.
Though? Like, okay,
like
so it's not the
feet.
right snake for Lee. It's not the right snake for Zach. But here, I'll list off 5 right now. People that love mainlands, that keep them responsibly, and they're great pets. Me, Dax, Taylor, Jake, fucking Weston. There you go. 5 people that responsibly keep them.
Zach and I can go into a mall and go like this and go, this is what super dwarves and ball pythons are good for. Fucking everybody. That's the point, is the number of people that are going to own and be responsible with the retic and know what they're getting into is tremendously small. That market is so small. Is it growing? Yes. But the only thing that's going to grow it is people getting into super dwarves, getting those, falling in love with them and going, I think I want a monster. And then when they do it, they're only going to get one. You're not going to see people owning nearly as many retics as they own super dwarves or ball pythons ever. It's just never going to happen.
Okay. What do you guys house those in?
Let's take that fucking left turn, because this is becoming a fucking everybody versus mainlands, and I'm outnumbered.
Left turn.
Hey, I'm the super dwarf guy.
Let's go caging. How are you?
Oh
how
God,
are you
here we go.
Your mainlands.
8 by 4 by.
I'll even go the super dwarfs is what I meant to say. How are you housing those?
4 by 2 by 2, 6 by 2 by 2, depending.
Yeah, I go 630 by 2 is my preferred cage, but that's mainly for my females, breeders. But honestly, I have a pure female breeder. I think the 6 foot's probably a little bit like too big to be fair, because she's tiny. She's literally all of 6 feet, so she's tiny in that cage. But that's usually what I would say for like a dwarf, like a 12 footer or so, like right in a 6 foot by 30 by 2 with a shelf is what I keep. And then males 4 2 by 2.
So 4 footers, 6 footers, possibly an 8 footer if you have a great big dwarf, or you just want to let one stretch out.
So you really can't house a lot of them in a room. You gotta pick and choose.
When they're smaller, you can, and super dwarfs
I like
you
where
can.
No. Let Zach keep going. I like where this one's going.
Yeah, let them cook. Let them cook.
To eat the ball python market alive.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah.
What's your biggest ball python?
Like, so in the ball python community, okay, foot-wise, that's what I was going to ask. In the ball python community, we measure everything by grams. We never really talk about feet, right? I probably have like a 5.5, 6 footer.
Yeah. What's it in?
Okay, grams.
Absolute monster.
Grams. How many grams?
Oh my God! I just heard
7,000.
6 foot's a monster. That's crazy.
7,000.
My breeding female, 75% 9 foot super dwarf was 4,100.
Yeah, mind you, this is my one-off.
No, I get you.
Is that an average?
No,
hey, she was a 75% super dwarf. I mean, she wasn't even a pure.
Lee, yes, you know, Zach. The average ball python doesn't get that big. That's a remind me.
Like the average, like the average breeding female.
There's a special name for that giant.
Yeah.
Oh, they call them Volta. I'm not saying it's a Volta. That's some. Yeah, everybody's
a
like,
locality thing or something, right? With ball pythons.
Yeah. They're super big. They call them Voltas or something like that. But that's a one-off, right? But the average is probably 2,000, 2,500 grams is the average female. Again, at like a 3 to 4 foot, maybe stretched all the way out.
So what is your Volta being kept in?
A 70 series tub, which
Any
is
lights in
probably
there?
too small. What's up?
Any lights, hides, substrate, anything?
Substrate, yes.
Any hides?
Oh,
climbing structures?
Some have hides.
Any climbing structures?
No, ball pythons really aren't climbers.
When you go into the room, you can see them, right? You can see them in their enclosure, so you can really admire their good looks and everything.
Yeah, 1,000%. I got that X-ray vision. No, you're right.
No, but also, I mean, on that point, there is like the pure super dwarfs. There are, I think there was a few clutches where the females were under 1,000 grams that laid.
I think that would be a rack preference, though, because there's, you quote me if I'm wrong, but again, whether we're talking about mainlands or dwarfs, there's rack systems for you guys too, with no windows.
No, well, most of the ones that I've seen people use rack systems are I forgot who the brand is, but it's like the Boafite ones that actually do have the plexiglass windows because they're like sideways. They're like the big fuckers. So those racks that they use usually do have little windows in there. But the grow out tubs are very similar, are the same grow out tubs. We just, are always a size up from you guys when we do ours. But like, that's like the big breeders that do have that. They do those, but if you're keeping them and breeding them, they'll have them with the windows or not. But it also depends on the level of breeder. There isn't a lot of us at that level that have a rack system like that. If we do have a rack system, it's usually for babies and that's it. Everything else is in enclosures of some sort.
He was Levi was going to go down a rabbit hole of climbing, whether ball pythons want to climb or not. I would love to know in a 6 foot by 2 by 4 by whatever, what climbing structure do you have in there for a 10-foot snake?
You'd be surprised, actually.
I was gonna say driftwood, fucking paracord, and PVC pipe. You name it. Like if you want to do it, it's possible. If you want to enrich your animals and give them that brain power and nutrients and thriving that they deserve, you can do it. There's a study that was out that keeping snakes in just a bare tub, it destroys their brain. It does not, they don't do well. They are not meant to be in a small little box for their entire life. It's proven, it's out there, it is what it is. I get it, breeders have to do what they have to do, but when it comes to super dwarfs versus, I would argue, a majority of snakes, you see breeders with enclosures. It's a thing. They move, they climb, and I think that should become the principle is responsible breeding. Like they need to, big snakes need to move, whether they're 6 foot or 20 foot, they need space. They need to be able to climb, enrich themselves, change the enclosures up.
I have no argument with that. I fully agree. If I had 2 snakes, they would have the baddest ass enclosures on the planet.
What you can do is let them out in the room together, where you just put one male and you put several females in there. That's what I do. I've got a whole room, Zach, where they can go climb up in a closet and they can climb all over the place, up and down on top of the enclosures. I have the shelves in there that they get on. So I let mine and rotate mine in and out of that room. And then I have another room that I let them go in where they also get to climb in and out of baskets and all sorts of crap. So
I've seen your setups. They're actually super nice. But you have how many right now in your house?
15. Well, I have 15 Retics. Yeah, some of them are with Lee and some of them are with Levi.
How many do you have?
10.
And like 10 with you?
At the house.
And what's your biggest one that you let roam around in there?
Right now is about a 6 footer.
So still manageable, right? It's like, my wonders are if you have 10 that are 15 feet, you got to rotate one at a time, probably.
Yeah, but I'm not really going to have those. I do have some mainlands, but once I produce the smaller versions of them, when I cross them with super dwarfs, typically you want to do the female super dwarf and have the mainland be the male. And that's another debate, but that's what I'm geared towards. And that's what I'm kind of working on. But once I produce a smaller version, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on from that animal.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I want to move on to something that we may agree on, right? Let's talk about some commonalities and things that the two cross paths on.
They're
right?
both snakes. They're pythons.
Thank you, Lee. Jesus,
They,
thank you.
They lay eggs, both of them.
So
Boom.
the fight predictions actually brought up a great point, right? Like it was a joke, but it's also this is facts. So hold on, let me highlight that to where it stands, right? Ball pythons are gateway drugs to retics eventually, right? So when I'm at a show,
obviously not.
Well, I mean, I could bring up a whole nother debate that could blow this thing out of the water, but I want to get on something that we agree on for a second here, so it's not just a straight like back and forth debate, not an argument, but a debate. When I have somebody come up to the table and I'm like, okay, this person isn't ready for a mainland, they're not ready for a super dwarf, they're not ready for a dwarf. Where do I point them? To you. Are you on this side or this side?
Who?
You that right there.
That one.
Okay, Zach. So I'm going to point them towards you. Start with the ball python. You've never owned a snake before. It's a great beginner animal. It's a safe beginner animal. They're a great way to learn. They're very forgiving animals. They're not the highest maintenance. I mean, ball pythons, I would argue, aren't the lowest either, but they require TLC, right?
Very minimal maintenance, though. You are right. No, I'm not offended by that.
So ball pythons are a great starting point, right? Like I don't think anybody could argue that the ball python is literally the best beginner pet animal, period. Like I can't think of a colubrid that keeps up with ball pythons. They're flighty.
If we're talking about snakes,
fussy.
Absolutely the number one starter is ball python.
See, I think corn snakes is where I point people more than often because they're better, consistent eaters. So
but they're small and flighty, and I mean,
right. If they want that python, if they're not partial to one snake or another, and they're beginners, say a 12-year-old kid, I might want to sell them like a yearling corn snake, something they can handle and that eats real well and won't frustrate them. But if they want the python feel, then I just fill them in on what they're in for, and they go from there. It's still a great beginner animal, of course.
So that's you start with like, okay, we'll eliminate all the other families, right? We'll just stick with pythons. Somebody brand new wants to get into pythons. The best starting place being brand new, no experience. I don't know Bob from Joe, and I'm trying to get into snakes. They're going to start with the ball python.
No, African rock snake.
Jesus Christ.
African rock python.
Yes, that is everyone go get an African rock python. Those are they're very loving animals.
Scrub python, Timor python, something like that. Yeah, agree.
Hey, I'd argue Timor.
Green tree pythons.
Yeah, there you go. Green tree pythons.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you can pull them out every day and keep them in a shoebox. They'll be just fine. That was sarcasm before somebody ripped my fucking head off. So start with the ball python. Work your way up. If you're not intending on breeding, just being a keeper, if you intend on breeding, you invest, you take all the right steps, right? But even with ball pythons, there's conversations to be had while you're selling your ball pythons, right? The same way as if I'm selling a mainland, a super dwarf, or a dwarf. Not the same exact conversations, but there's going to be conversations that be had. I've never had any experience. I want to start. I watched so-and-so on YouTube. I want to breed snakes. Okay, so this is based on the algorithm of however this person falls into it. You want to start with pies. You can't go wrong with pies in either market. We're going to go fucking, we're going to lay it out on the table. You start with pies. Start with pied reticulated pythons. They're both hot cakes. I don't think there will ever be a time that a pie is $5 on the table. I mean, one-offs, yes, but it will never become that, right? They're hot movers. They're great visuals, etc. Or, hey, I want to be a keeper. Everyone's got to start somewhere, and starting with ball pythons and then working your way through that. Let's say, again, eliminating all the other families for the sake of fucking argument here. You stick on the python chain. You go from ball pythons to carpet pythons to Timor pythons up to Burmese, up to the king, reticulated pythons, whether that be a super dwarf, or mainland. Work your way up through the species, get your experience, and then end up at the very top of the mountain. So ball pythons have a place, just like every python, every snake, every reptile does. Agree or disagree with that one?
I think every snake has a place for sure. Yes. Yeah. I think it's also the argument's almost hard, right? Because it's like we're doing retics versus ball pythons, and it's like, but for what reason, right? Like I want to argue from a breeder standpoint, but we can argue from a pet standpoint. We can argue from this, I had, when I was on MJ's podcast, I got ripped apart for a split second. That was, they were mad that, because I said I breed for profit. Like, right. Like, don't get me wrong. All my animals are very well taken care of. Everything's very well taken care of, but this is for a profit. That's it. Like, I invested a life savings worth of money to come back into this, but I vet people as well. Like, just like you guys, you were saying, like, I vet people so well on this and that. Like, I wanted to show you this. I got up for a second, went and grabbed this, right? This is my business card, right?
Yes.
I'm going to hold it. I'm going to keep it in screen. And so I vet people. I talk to them as well, but I'm going to keep it in screen and I'm going to turn it around.
That is fucking
That's
beautiful.
Fucking brilliant.
Nice.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Can I pause for just a second and throw us off track for 30 seconds?
Can you move it up just a little bit higher so I can see the whole thing?
Here, hold on.
Your name's covering part of it. There we go.
There you go.
That's really nice, Zach. I love that.
That's beautiful.
So again, this is just my normal business card. But
did you trademark that idea?
No, I should have. I promise you this is, I guarantee
Bill, take notes.
I was so excited. But again, I'm a one-trick pony, right? Like, Lee, you sound to be shooting for that one-trick pony, so you can do one for Super Dwarfs, right? But I do this for a profit. But I vet people, I promise you, just as well as you guys do, and in everything. In the ball python's not going to hurt anybody. It's never going to hurt anybody. We know that. Is somebody going to mistreat it? Yep, people mistreat everything. They mistreat their own damn kids, right? But if we vet every person, and by vetting them, I just make sure they understand the basic care guide as well as how big it can get and how long it's going to live. You understand that? Cool. Now, can you afford it? And do you have the right setup? I have people like, oh, I only have one cage. And, to get the sale, I've heard people say like, oh yeah, you can keep them together. No, you cannot. No, if you want to, go ahead. But you're never going to catch me saying that just for the sale. And I promise you, I want the sale. I'm the guy who wants the sale. I want to sell every snake on my table. And if one guy wants to buy them all, I'll sell them all to that guy. But I still vet everybody. I spend money. Like these aren't cheap. Like you guys have all made business cards. It costs X amount for the front and it costs a few more dollars for the back times X amount, right? So it's like we do this as well. So that's a good thing we can agree on is vetting whether it's a dangerous snake or arguably not as much as a dangerous snake, right?
Yeah.
Agreed. Now, real quick, can I derail the conversation for 30 seconds and answer that? Is there a cow ball python? I've seen one, cookies and cream.
I mean, we call it a panda.
That's not a cow. Your panda is our panda.
Okay, what's a cow then?
The all white with like the black speckles going through it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
There's one that I know of. Has that been reproduced yet?
There's a caveat though. Like with cows, they start off all white, or maybe with like a little yellow tinge, and with every shed, they gain new spots.
So the cookies and cream did that too. They gain
spots as they age and every shed and stuff like that. So that's where it's a little bit different.
I've seen that with pieds only. So pieds, they'll be born and not always all white. Sometimes they'll have normal patterning, but as they get older, they get more spots. And no one's ever found out why. It's not a genetic; it just happens. I mean, maybe it's a genetic, but it's not a proven genetic. But it happens. I've had a couple. I have a couple still to this day.
I don't think there is like a true equivalent, as far as I know, unless there's some new morphs out there that I've never seen yet, which I'm sure there is, but I don't think there is a true equivalent to a cow.
I know cookies and cream is out there, and it did the same thing the cow did, where it started out all white and got more and more and more and more, but it's not been reproduced that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think it's like genetically. Like I don't think, and what's even crazier about cow is it's an allelic gene between two co-dominants. So it's kind of similar to like your lesser Mojave type shit, your lesser butter, even though I think your guys' argument is those are the same. Is that your argument or no?
No, those are different. Lesser butter, Mojave, they're all different. Yeah.
But yeah. So
they're a Lilac, and they make the same kind of looking super form, but yeah. So like that's what's crazy about cow is it is an allelic super form. So it would be like if that allelic trifecta you guys had, if you had one that you made and it then all of a sudden started gaining spots, that would be like the same equivalent. Yes, I have one. I know every big breeder has a project that's like, ooh, it's my special secret sauce that I'm working on, right? I have one that I've been working on, and I called it the Black Plague. And what's funny is I produced it, or I reproduced it, and then it didn't work, so I got rid of the whole project. And my brother randomly kept one of them. And about a year old, I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was the spots were coming in on the belly like the original adults I had. And I was like, no fucking way. So it took a year for it to start. And now it's getting worse on that animal. It's like a black spots. And it's not speckling. It's like patches of black spots on a normal, it's a pastel. Like it's a pastel het pied posset clown, but visually it's just a pastel. But it has black splotches on it. Mm-hmm. But it took a year to do, just like what you guys are talking about. It comes with over time.
It's doing the same thing the cow is, no, Lee?
It kind of, but it's like on the belly, if I'm not mistaken, though, right?
Mine is only on the belly so far. Yeah, it comes up the sides, but only on the belly. And it's hard for me because it's like it's long term. Like I got to make it, and then I can't sell the babies because I don't know which one has it. Whatever it is, right? I gotta wait a year to even see. Like I literally got rid of the whole project. I'm upset because I got rid of it all to one guy. My brother randomly kept one. Luckily, the guy kind of vanished off the face of the planet. So, I lucked out there. But it's a trip.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, no, cows are pretty wild. They don't make sense. And then now with pecan coming in, it's added into that and makes other things. So that's a pretty wild one.
Yeah, doesn't the Kali Maya or Kali Maya, whatever, Killer Maya, doesn't that have some of the freckling going on?
Yeah, just not the same.
Like, not as crazy, but it's there.
Yeah. For sure. Definitely. But yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I would say if we want to go like flexibility. I mean, ball pythons have, an endless amount of morphs and combinations that you can put together.
I think it's only because they've been worked so much, though. Like, how many genes do you guys not even know about? Like, your Retics are how many years old, and you're talking about new stuff? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's tricky because ours are banned and have been banned for a while from being imported. So trying to get anything new is really hard. So, but yes, we did. I mean, I think out of all the other species, I think it's like probably got the second most amount of morphs, like next to ball pythons, like as far as snakes go. I mean, someone can definitely correct me. I don't know every snake or anything like that. But I think they got a lot of morphs. So we definitely have
ball pythons, corn snakes. There's one other one, and then retics, I think. Pretty confident on that.
Yeah. But I mean, there's nothing new coming in, at least not legally. And if it is coming in and people are producing it here illegally, it's going to cost you your left testicle to get it.
I think what Zach was talking about is when we talk about making something new, it might be from a mainland form into a super dwarf form.
Right, which makes it hot and desirable, high dollar, right? You're creating something that essentially hasn't been made. Like that's my goal every time for my high end stuff is to make something that has not been made for either publicity, show, profit, whatever.
Yeah, and I always when it's like first time made in super dwarf, I always when I hear the and super dwarf, I always put that like with an asterisk then. So it's like there's another one out there and it just happens to be mainland. You know what I mean? So it's like there is very few things that haven't been made in mainland when it comes to morphs and stuff like that with Retics.
We have something you don't, though, in Retics, and that's all three technically. We have locality.
Which
Ball
is
pythons don't have localities. So the Karampa, the Madu, the Kalatoa, the Slayer, the Siloaces, it all is a specialty animal that comes from a special place, and that locality mixes with the morph and changes the morph, and the morph changes the locality, which creates a new look to that animal. Ball pythons can't do that. You guys can't go, well, this one's from this area of Africa and this one's from this area of Africa, and create a new version of it, or create and take this locality and mix it with pine and create this X place in Africa pied ball python.
So does it change the pattern, or just where it's
Yes.
from, or the size, or what?
Size,
all the
pattern,
above,
color,
yes.
all the above, man.
All the above. I mean, technically, 3 of those localities are completely different subspecies to the other localities. So you have Saputrii, which is Siloase, Slayer, and Tombalongan. And then you have Jampaianus, which is Jampea, Kayawati, Kalatoa, Karampa, Madu. So it's like...
And those aren't like... sorry, I can't think of the word. Like, what do you call a berm ball? What do you call that?
Right.
Hybrid.
Berm ball would be a hybrid.
A hybrid. Okay. So those are not hybrids. They're all
They would be,
retics?
they're
They are
all
all
reticulated
retics,
pythons.
and if they were, or when you breed them or whatever, they're like intergrades. They're not like, because they're of the same animals. They're the same species, even though they may be different subspecies. Like if you take a Siloase and breed it to a Kalatoa, you're taking a Saputrii, like a reticulated python Saputrii and a Jampaianus, and you're mixing those. So you're doing an intergrade there, but not really a hybrid.
It's maybe like dogs. Like they're all
Kind of.
dogs, but you're just intermixing them.
That's the best. We have all determined that is the best way to make an analogy for the Retics. It's like they're a different dog. They're all dogs, just different kind of breeds. They're all, you have a Chihuahua that's little, that would be your super dwarves, and then you have your fucking Great Danes and Irish Wolfhounds, which are your mainlands, and then you got everything kind of in between.
How many visual recessives have you guys got into one snake so far? Not you guys personally, just
Quads?
I for sure that I know of, definitely triples.
I think Jay hit a quad, didn't he?
You would know. You might know better than me. I don't know what quad it would have been. I just know the triple I know of is the snow ocelot. I've seen one of those, but it's also an unproven line of anery. But it's an anery. I mean, that's a triple recessive. There's a lot of those.
Isn't the no? I don't know. I'd have to look. I think for sure triple. I think Jay. I don't follow prehistoric death, so I think I've seen or heard something.
What
about
would
a
it
quad.
have been?
Titanium pied something. It was I think it was a panda with 2 visuals or some shit like that. I don't remember. I could be wrong. I could be way off the mark, but this is just based on because I'm forced to see bullshit in my algorithm.
That's what I was going to say. I have over you, though. I got quads and fives,
Yeah, no, the most I really know
How
of, like,
many
for
of them
sure,
look
is
good,
triples.
Huh?
How many of them actually look good, though? Or is it just a bunch of watered-down genetics
quite
shoved
a
into
few.
one snake?
Quite a few. I guess we can go tit for tat. I can say, how many triple visuals do you have in your collection?
None yet. But I promise my triple is going to look better than your triple. Because retics get better with age, they don't fade. We don't need a genetic to hold on to our brightnesses and our colors. And
Desert Ghost changed the world for me, so.
Even with Desert Ghost, at full size, they don't. I still argue they fade.
Yeah, I mean, retics definitely look better with age, no matter what they are. I mean, you don't have to have a Desert Ghost in there.
I say wild type to wild type. The retic is fucking head and shoulders above.
You don't have hair on your head. You can't talk about heads and shoulders.
Every wild type reticulated python looks better as a wild type than any wild type ball python. I'd argue that platinum is better than desert ghost.
I was gonna come back and say that's an opinion, but if you're talking like normal to normal, yeah, you win. You win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say
now the prettiest.
That's a
the
win.
Prettiest ball python opinion versus the prettiest retic opinion. You're smoked. You're smoked.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, man.
That's you.
But again,
there's colors that don't even
eyes of the beholder.
Eyes of the beholder. Color palette yet.
Same here.
We don't need those colors, though.
Colors
that's
you
the
guys
thing.
Can't even attain.
That's the thing, though. We don't need the bright, fancy colors to make a stunning animal off of a single genetic. Reticulated pythons are just mind-blowingly beautiful.
Green?
Like, we don't need to
put
6 genetics in to make it look.
Green ball pythons?
Green hue.
Okay, we can do green. Can you do yellow? You can do yellow, right? Like
yellow. For sure,
yeah.
They can do
orange. You can do orange, like really good bright
orange.
Stays
orange,
bright
red, orange reddish.
Yeah. Yeah, the color spectrum is pretty much the same. I mean, we do get greens, especially with certain localities. You will get like a really green snake. You throw anery in there, then you're really going to get a green snake. But yeah, I mean, we all have the same color palette. It's how it gets put in there. But we also have crazy iridescence on every single snake. I don't know if the ball. I've never really taken a ball python out to see if it's got iridescence.
One-offs.
Yeah,
they don't. Yeah, it's not a very common thing. But I'd argue that fucking a single gene marble, whether in mainland or super dwarf, can compete with just about any triple recessive that's on the market.
I disagree.
Yeah, no way. If you're talking single gene, but I'm talking prettiest to prettiest. If it was just like the both Python community submitted their prettiest snake, no matter how many genetics, whether it was 50 or 1, and your guys is prettiest, who's going to win to the naked eye? Not a ball python breeder, not a retic breeder. Joe Schmo looking at 2 snakes, who's winning that beauty contest?
Hatchlings or adults?
I mean, again, I said there was endless genes. So with Desert Ghost into it, I mean, we could go hatchlings or adults. If I'm for arguing sakes, I'm going to say hatchlings for ball pythons because absolutely they're going to be, out of the egg.
Hatchlings, you have a little bit better of a chance, but if we go adult to adult, and then it's like, I mean, fucking lead through my fucking 1-shot, 1-kill out there. Any ocelot's going to beat any ball python.
Yeah.
They're fucking, you just can't. Ocelot can beat just about anything on the market, in my opinion. Like, you can't get much better than a fucking ocelot.
It's especially recessive.
At fucking 16, 17 foot long. And it only gets brighter. It only gets better as it gets bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even lie. I've been trying to convince her to let me get a reticulated pied for a long time, and it's been no. I don't even know what I'd fucking do with it, to be honest.
Just wait until we produce some super dwarf ones, and you won't have to worry about it. You can keep it in the same kind of tubs for a while.
No, exactly. Levi said it at the beginning. He said nothing beats like a 16, 17, 20-foot pied. Like, I just...
Yeah.
To have my name as Pied as Life and pull out a 20-foot pied would be just like...
Yeah, I mean...
Although, hold on.
Nothing says more Pied as Life than that.
I'm going to shit on myself for a minute here. If I was the Pied as Life guy and Pied was my only motive to getting a big snake, I'm not going to give it to the community openly, but hypothetically, theoretically, possibly, there might be an argument that the Pied berm would be the better choice. But again, I'm not going to hand that to that community.
Oh, it wouldn't be for nobody. It would be just simply, I got one,
Yeah, no, but
I
what
like
he's trying to
the-
say is the Burmese is a better pied. It's not. He's full of shit.
Yeah, I actually
I don't know.
I think
That's
the Burmese pied is awesome looking, but I've seen the reticulated pied. Now, in my opinion, a lot of the reticulated pieds suck. Like, there are not a lot of genuine pied patterns. Now,
It's
there
pied
is
sided.
some, right? But it's the siding that most of the retics are. And now we're not talking about one-offs. The majority is just the sides.
Mhm.
But if we're talking, I went and found the prettiest reticulated pied and the reticulated and the prettiest Burmese pied. I would still like the reticulated pied.
Now,
I was
what
going to say,
will
can we throw
is-
stag genes in there? Like another gene?
I mean, for sure. I just want a pied fucking retic.
Damn it, Lee. Get out of my fucking head.
You can control the level of white in a retic pied. Can you do that? I don't think you can do that with any other one.
Yeah, you can, or not retics,
In ball
but you can
pythons,
do
I
a ball
can. Yes, I
python.
can.
How?
Black pastel creates a high white pied. Enchi creates a low white pied. Bill, right? The Enchi pieds, they got a lot of pattern on them. Black pastel pieds are mostly only the head.
Yep. So we do the same. Tiger, high whites, super tiger, super high whites. That's the same thing. You can control it. So when you say it's like mostly, like if you're talking a single gene pied, sure. But there's also a crazy amount of single gene pied ball pythons that are crazy low white too. So, but you can control white.
I definitely agree with Zach on the pied retics. There are, as far as like a pied lover goes, like somebody that's obsessed with the genetic, the single gene pied retic for the most part isn't the most desirable to the pied loving crowd. As a genuine person that just likes the genetic, it's going to be, but it's 17 foot of pied. Like, you can't go wrong with it. But throwing tiger in there, Zach, you want a tiger pied. I promise you.
Is that the one with like the goldish head?
Yes.
No, it just is when they're usually very high white.
They're high white, yeah, and the golden heads. There's other genetics that can do it, but I'd argue the tiger brings that out the most.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of those snakes. Their head looks completely different than their body. I think that's what it is, a tiger pied, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
I prefer the white-headed pieds. I like to have the no pattern on the head when it comes to my
that's
on retics.
What does the all white again? It's the
I think it's super tiger.
Molly?
Usually, I mean, some tigers will do it. No, Motley tiger. I mean, Motley tigers will do it too.
So like that again comes down to that, like, we've got in both markets, depending on who comes down, it all comes down to the buyer at the end of the day. Like, these arguments are fun. We can sit here and go tit for tat. We can sit here and go snake versus snake, morph versus morph.
I liked it. It was fun.
No, it's a lot of fun, but it also what all this comes down to is who is buying the snake. What do they want? Because at the end of the day, every single thing that we've talked about is either I want this or I don't want that. I don't want this. I want that. This is where I want to be. But
I can also do it all 10 times faster than you guys can too.
You can do it faster, but again, I'm going to go with that quality over quantity.
No, it'll still be a great quality. Even if we're going my top quality versus your top quality, I can do it faster. I'm not saying my top quality is better than your top quality. I'm saying top quality ball python, top quality retic, I can do it faster. Or if we both come up with an idea that's doable in both of our snakes, I can beat you by years.
Maybe. Where I think it would get tricky for you is when it starts to get into multiple recessives is where it's going to get really, really tricky with you.
Mainland, I'm probably going to beat you just based on odds and statistics. Think about it.
Correct.
How many eggs does a triple head to triple head? How many eggs does a ball python have? 12 to 15, 15 being the best?
Yeah. That would be, it's just the odds there. It's just the odds when you're starting to hit stack up on those multiples.
Hold on, we lost that. Can you hear us?
I'm out.
Uh-oh. Time out on the field. Shit. Well, while he's doing that, I have to drive to New Mexico tomorrow. That's fun.
Have fun with that.
Shit.
Oh.
No. Oh no, my audio is gonna cut out now. Watch. Bill, say something.
Hello.
I'm just fucking with you guys.
Oh, Zach, say something.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay. Woo.
Woo.
Sorry, backstage we have a.
Yeah. So we were talking about odds wise. You have way more chances than I do. How often can they lay a clutch?
The same
Once
as
a
the
year?
ball python.
Yeah.
Yearly.
Yearly cycle.
I literally did the cycling of my ball pythons and my retics the same time. The thing
And
is,
then from hatchling to being able to produce a clutch, how many years?
depends on who you are. If you're kind of like doing like a power feeding thing, you can get them to breed same time, 3 years. You can. It's possible.
That's a dwarf though. What about a mainland?
A mainland 3 years.
Mainlands are the fastest.
Mainlands
So
are the
that's where.
fastest.
So
Yeah,
this
super
argument is
dwarf, like,
multifaceted with
Yeah,
mainland,
super dwarfs are like
super
4
dwarf, and
years.
dwarf. You'll
Yeah.
beat the super dwarf. You're not gonna. I don't think you beat the mainland.
But
Okay,
it
I
also
thought
depends
it was a
on
lot longer.
No, they breed fast. They get up to size fast. Mainlands specifically get up to size fast. They explode.
And honestly, like the way the seasons go for me, it's never like 3 years when I try to breed a female. Like whenever it comes around time, they're always 3.5. So like 3.5 is like when I start breeding them. Which
I'm shooting for like 6 months.
Yeah, I get it. Feeding them 2 times a week, you got to, right? Yeah.
No, I think the quickest I ever had was I think I had 18 months on one time.
I think
It
I
was
was
for
the Xanthic girl.
The female.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Xanthic girl I got from your brother. She bred it like 2. She got up to size quick.
Yeah,
Just
that's how I made my first triple. I mean, we were in a dead race with many people, and I was playing triple het to triple het, and so I bred her at 18 months, and I got lucky. I got 7 eggs, and somehow hit 2 triples out of that.
I remember that.
That's what's up.
That's actually what put me on the map. But that was I like you guys said, it's all about odds or luck, right? Odds wise, I think you're winning, right? When you're producing, 30, 40 eggs in one clutch. Like sometimes in a big project, I wish I could do that.
I mean, even with some of our like crosses, I think even some of these localities will have a lot smaller eggs, so then they'll have more. Like I think the first Karampa clutch was in the 20s. So even if we're laying like 20, I mean, the odds are really good at 20 with 20. Some 18, 20 eggs, it's pretty good odds.
Right, so, an absolute ripper, huge clutch for me is like 11 or 12.
Yeah, that would be like a small clutch for us. Like for the animals that we have, other than like our really small pure girls, that would be a big clutch for them, or pretty average.
And then I'm gonna stand 10 toes on we have locality. Like it's
Hey, Levi, do you like colubrids at all?
Oh yeah, don't even get me fucking started on that one. But I mean, I'm like fucking stuck on this like argument of ball python versus retic quality, colors. Silhouette, fucking Tom Belongings. Like you can't that is a no morph animal, and I don't give a like as a personal opinion. I think is like a hobbyist as a snake lover. Holding that to a ball python that's got 6 genetics, like you had to put 6 genetics into the snake for it to even hold a fucking candle to this no morph natural occurring animal. Like it's not I don't even think it's an argument at that point. Like this is a no morph animal. This comes out of the wild, this beautiful, this crazy pattern, this color. Like it just, you don't. And it's a small. If you go pure Sulawesi, it's a fucking monster. But if you go Tom Belongin, it's a smaller animal. It's manageable.
Well, see, that's what's wrong. You pull it out of the wild and it's a single gene and that pretty. I just pull it right out of my room with 8 genes and it's pretty.
No genes. This is a natural occurring animal. It's not a genetic. It's just how it is.
See, but that's what's weird about retics, though, is like you have multiple. For ball pythons, there's one. There's one normal. So it's almost unfair.
I would argue that's not true. If you go back, if somebody were to go to Africa, and I don't know how Africa, I'd have to do a lot of research.
We're talking about no genes, though. You said the one you're talking about that's beautiful has no genes.
No genes, just a natural wild type.
A no gene ball python is a normal. Pastel is a gene. Those are all genes. So we just don't have that in our animal group.
Yes.
Yeah, ours are sought after if they're pure locality.
I would argue that if somebody were to go to Africa and put in the time, I don't know, maybe Dave is already working on this, and you could probably find localities in ball pythons. You could find them and start a market, which I'm not saying. I'm saying that it would probably be a fight to get there, but it would be a game changer. But until that happens, again, you can take this snake out of the wild and it looks this good, this crazy, this colorful. You just don't, as far as quality goes, you don't get better than that. This is how it is. Without fucking with it. Like, we don't have to put our God complex into it to make it look good.
No, but I think Zach's argument is like when he's talking about ball pythons, like a normal, there is no locality influence. There is none of that thing. It's just a normal. And then like with us, we're like, yeah, but it's a Madu. Even though it's a normal, it's a Madu. It's a normal Madu. It's got something that's attached to it because of the locality. I get it, but it's still just a normal. It's still just a normal. But you're going to be like, why does this normal look like this? And you're going to be like, well, that's because it's from Madu. That's why it looks like that, because each one of those islands do look significantly different from each other. So like, even if I laid them out all on the table, there's only a couple where you'd be like, those look the same. And that's only if I have them as babies. But if I have them all as adults, they're going to be all different sizes, all look different. You're going to be like, what the fuck? These are all retics, but they all look different. It's because of the localities. But they're all normals.
Right.
I'd argue even a normal, just everyday mainland out of the wild is more colorful and contrasting and better, period. The oranges that come off a wild type are fucking insane.
Hell, I'll even throw in ternates. Those things look all right.
Dude, I don't even want to go down this goddamn rabbit hole because of the fucking trolls that came out last time, but I will argue the ternates are fucking gorgeous.
They're all right, for sure.
I mean, a normal desert ghost is awesome.
They're cool. But what does it take to make that?
The desert ghost.
One genetic?
Isn't desert ghost recessive?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm just kidding.
So that,
I didn't even go down that road.
there you go.
Well, so the new one coming along is lace. So lace is not recessive. And an adult lace to an adult desert ghost, the lace is actually age better. So.
Oh, wow. That's actually coming out now?
Yeah.
That's like the market
it's
finally
pretty
accepted.
old. Kabelka's got an older video on it.
Yeah, but it wasn't accepted for the longest time.
Correct.
I remember because why would you argue a co-dominant? Yeah, why would a co-dominant be better than a recessive too? Where does more money get sunk into the whole 9 yards on that one? But that's cool because I agreed with that years ago that lace is better.
Yeah, sure.
And see, we have an equivalent to lace, like as far as like the way it works. We have platinum. I think a platinum to a lace, the platinum is better.
Yeah, but do you have a super platinum?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Our super lace, our white lace is, I think, untouchable.
I mean, to be fair, super platinum is basically an all-white snake, kind of a dirty one. So your white lace probably beats our super form, platinum. But
our super phantom
Our super phantom is a blue-eyed Lucy.
How many recessives do you have?
We have a lot, but a lot of we have an albino complex that's allelic with each other. So we have
Do you have any
endocarmel, white albino, purple albino, and mocha are all of the same strain, Clark strain albinos, and they're all allelic with each other and interchange and make different albinos. So that's
a fake ass recessive then. You can't have a recessive interchangeable with another recessive.
Yeah, you can. And they're all completely different.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying that's bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
No,
it's super unfair.
Retics are cooler than ball pythons.
Yeah.
And
it's easier to make. Just slap any albino to any albino retic and you'll make albinos.
But they're not all made the same, and it's a lot of preference. Like, I'm not a big Moschino fan, and I like orange glows. I hate white albinos. So it's like you do have to kind of be careful what you're playing with, because you're going to have certain tastes and certain things you don't. Like, I won't just throw a white albino into my shit because I don't want to make lavenders. Like, I don't want that. So I do have to be kind of careful what I'm throwing in there. But I technically could I? Yeah. But is it what I'm wanting to make? No.
Do you have a super lay, Zach?
Not anymore. No. You know what I made? And I sold it because it was the first one ever, and of course it was worth it. I made the white lace sunset.
Oh, shit.
Hey, you should see. He posts, you know the guy, a lot of people mistake that he breeds boas. His name's Brad, or his company's name is Brad Boa. He actually bought it, and he posts updates on his Instagram all the time. If you guys ever get time, you should check it out. It is, I so regret getting rid of it. It's the craziest thing I ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm about to look this shit up right now because I'm curious. I want to
Brad Boa, white lace sunset. I made it.
I want to take a super lace to a pecan and hold them side by side.
I mean, even pastel desert ghosts are crazy by themselves.
Shit, a tiger pecan. If you still have that picture I sent you of Aubrey's tiger pecan, that thing is wild. It doesn't even look like it's a retic.
Oh, where is this goddamn thing?
Should I go grab Tormund, or who should I grab? Aegon, maybe?
Is it that?
Ooh.
What is that?
No, that's a
That says
white
the
lace
white
clown
lace.
and a banana red stripe clown.
No, that's not us. I don't think that's it.
Close.
Red boa reptiles.
No, it's a white lace sunset. Which wasn't sunset hated on for the longest time? And
yeah, because it browns out. Yeah, it browns out. You got to play with it.
Yeah,
now, Lee, show off your orange glow.
It. Huh?
Show off your orange glow.
Okay. 3 choices. Snow Golden Child, Orange Glow, Orange Ghost Stripe.
I love the orange ghost stripe. Or what about, which one's the main one? It looks Moschino. Yeah, that one.
Tormund, okay.
Oh, man, this is a good-looking snake.
Is it a baby?
Yeah, I mean, it's a juvenile, but yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll pull my ace out of my sleeve now. There's not a ball python that holds a fucking light to apotheosis. You guys don't have an all black. Yes. Apotheosis is the golden child Molly. You guys literally cannot make apotheosis.
What?
All black, oil slicked, iridescence from head to toe or head to tail. Fucking insane animal. Brian Barczyk I argue Brian Barczyk brought its popularity. Like, there's not a ball python in the world you can do that with.
He's going to pop in view and show us his dick, right?
Yep. You know it. All 3 inches. So this
Zach, I
one is
can't
like
find this damn thing to save my life.
the hardest one to pull up on, get the colors.
Brad,
in
go
camera
on
right.
Brad Boa's Instagram.
I'm on his Instagram right now. I can't find the damn thing.
It's the lighting, Lee.
Yeah.
It's making it too shiny. There you go.
Is it any better or is he?
Yeah, way better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
bring
you
it
can
closer.
actually see it. You can see it now.
Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy looking.
Yeah, and then
With the
white underbelly.
iridescence.
Yeah, stark white. It's burnt orange. They fire up, fire down kind of stuff. But like, so when we were talking earlier about like, hey, would you go let your kids go open up the cage or go handle or hang out? This is the example of the one I wouldn't. Now he's sweet and he's fine, but I wouldn't just go let kids fuck with him. You know? But my other girl, who I usually have out on these, my marble sun tiger, absolutely, you know, go get her out of the cage even. Like she's just that sweet. But their level of intelligence, I think, is a little bit different too, which could be a good versus. I don't know. Do you try to push intelligence or anything like that with your ball pythons? Like
Nope.
these snakes they're pretty fucking smart. Like they get used to like some things like, you know, is it smart or are they good at like learning habits and stuff? But regardless, at least they're learning something and it makes it easier to keep them. So like that worrying of opening up a cage and having a flying mouth at you. I just started an experiment. I started feeding all my retics in tubs. I would take them out and feed them in tubs separate from their enclosures. And I think it like 99% eliminated that food response when opening the enclosure.
Dude, that thing is bonkers. If you've seen a normal adult sunset,
that is, I'll give it to you. Like knowing
that
ball
thing,
pythons,
that's impressive.
It's impressive.
That's very impressive.
Hold on.
so I made the first one, and that snake has not been made again yet.
I want to play.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
He said, "I want to play."
Yeah, he did. Man,
I
this
gotta
guy
get my
had the
little ass
worst
on the ladder.
attitude
Give me
when
a
I
minute.
got him.
Don't worry, I got a ladder in my room too.
You know, I'll argue. I will give you, Zach, if I would much rather have like ball python sized snakes at like face level with me.
No, these fucking racks are fucking taller than me. Look, I'll stand next to one.
I mean,
and I can't even open this because if I open this, it's gonna bite me in my fucking face if it's having a bad day.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I gotta be on a ladder for the top 3 tubs. I gotta be on a stool or something, you know.
yeah. Fuck,
I'm sure we've all taken one to the face. It doesn't feel good.
they probably
Never
have.
from a reticulated python.
I'm not a big bite guy.
See, that to me looks like a normal retic.
It will now.
You're upside your damn mind.
It's already starting to brighten up quite a bit.
This is, I mean, it's a single gene pecan too. Like pattern wise, color wise, brightness.
It's a codom, and that thing, you start stacking it with something else, it's like crazy. But that snake will just get brighter and brighter and brighter until it's like almost all yellow. It's insane what that gene does. But then you start stacking it with other things, and it creates like totally different animals. It's pretty wild.
Bill, look how much she's got, how much she's fucking grown. Remember when she was the size of her arm?
Yep.
How old is that one?
Little under or a little less than a year, right? Or no, a little over a year.
I don't remember, Levi. I can't keep track of every one of them.
Now,
Quite
hold
a
on. I'm
few.
going to do something. We're late into this episode, so give me a second. I'm going to do something really fucking stupid. I'm going to pull out a snake I probably shouldn't pull out on a podcast, but Zach needs to see this.
Hey, we're gonna win this debate right here when this motherfucker bites him. Ball pythons for the win at the 155th minute.
I mean, I'm not gonna take a bite, but it's.
Come on.
If I pulled out that one that Chucky fucking gave us.
Yeah, get that one, man.
I'd much rather deal with buffalo.
Oh, you're
Buffalo's
gonna get buffalo
predictable.
out? Yeah.
All right. Since
you
we
know
want to
what?
talk
No,
about
I'm gonna play-
size.
I'm gonna play it safe. Give me, or you know what? Hold on, I might bust out too. Give me a second.
All right. So this is a 3-year-old male dwarf, almost a year-old mainland.
That's a great comparison. So
Yeah.
so the orange one wrapped around your hand, that's 100% mainland.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, what percentage is the other one?
It's basically 50% dwarf. It's a mix of super dwarf and dwarf localities to be 50% or a little bit over. All right, cool.
Look, bro, I need you to be fucking cool for the first time ever. All right.
Take note for this versus battle. Take note on how long it has taken this man to get a snake out.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna exercise fucking precaution, but
Is that a pied?
Yeah.
it's a tiger pied.
No, that's the ones I like with the orangish head.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it's only the fucking sides. Fuck that thing.
Fucking sick. I mean, he's definitely down the sides, but it fucking dude. Hey, thanks for being cool. I rolled the dice and it paid off.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect pied pattery.
Yeah. It's okay for sure.
Hold on, I gotta see what he's showing off. You're super fucking cool. I mean, granted, that's this is a testament to like how mainlands are raised too, like whether you get them as babies or small adult, like very, very small into full size.
Well, I mean, that's any animal. I mean, shit, borderline kids too.
Yeah, that's fucking true.
You raise them wrong, they'll pieces of shit and they'll bite you. And you raise them right, they won't bite you.
Don't be dumb. What are you doing? It's another low expression pied. But his pattern is bright and he's got iridescence going on.
How old's that one?
This one's 2.
And that's a male or female?
Male.
And the other pied was a female?
No, the other pied, that's a male. That's a 3, almost 4-year-old male. He's Buffalo's full size. This guy's still got some growing to do, but he was started slow, so I've kept him slow, and he's spunky, but he's definitely not as
All right.
doesn't get as worked up as Buffalo does.
Yeah.
A little more manageable.
His eyes are fucking insane. They're blue.
I mean, a good argument for ball pythons, you know what I save a lot of money on because I don't need them, is hooks. I don't need snake hooks.
I mean, you don't really save a lot of money. What, whopping $15?
Yeah, a one-time purchase of a snake hook.
You know what I don't need, even with all these snakes?
That's how I was able to afford all of this, is because I didn't have to buy a damn snake hook.
I agree.
You know what I don't need?
Yeah.
A fucking entire fucking rat facility.
You know, that shit sucks to clean, but it is great for profitability.
I don't have to hire a Chucky to clean my room.
I mean, you can come if you want.
I won't pay you. Not in money, at least. Yeah.
But yeah, single gene pies, I think pie to pie, you guys got us beat.
What do you got, Bill? You got the auto rotating camera?
Oh yeah. I don't even know how. I don't know if it's the iPad or if it's the way it's set up on SteamYard. I don't know why I have it. I didn't set it up.
My best looking snake.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
Zach sleeping on the couch tonight.
No, but for real, pull it out. Let's see your best looking snake. Stand up. Oh,
I'll pull out this year's triple.
All right. I thought you was going to pull out the trouser snake. I was getting excited.
He said this year's.
Oh, don't worry. We'll be on that train soon.
I don't know that there's a triple I want to produce, to be honest with you.
There's a triple. So Desert Ghost, Hypo Clown, Lesser, and Black Pastel. It's not I wouldn't say the prettiest thing on the planet right now, but very, very powerful, and it's a female. And I hit it, so it's not like I paid for it.
So that's not like it's not a show-off animal, it's a building block.
Yeah, I mean it's
showed off a little bit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely
still looking, but yeah.
But I mean, to get multiple genetics or multiple codons into a triple is not easy. But I'd say if we're going for like visually appealing, let me see. I got one that always sticks out.
Oh, I could give Zach an ace up his sleeve, but I don't know if I want to.
No.
I moved my entire room around. I used to pride myself on knowing where everything is. And now I don't, but so this is a crazy paradox. So obviously it's a pie, and then you see the banana splotches on it.
Yeah.
Is that a paradox or is that a Killamaya?
Paradox.
Hey, you want to go up and get Jen?
Because it's showing two genes at the same time. Isn't that a...
Yeah, but I bred it and banana doesn't pop out.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a Killamaya. What the hell is the word for that? There's a paradox is like splotching, but when two genetics are showing at the same time, what is the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that Chimaya I don't fucking know.
Yeah, chimayas. There you go. Chimaya something. Chimeras.
Chimera.
Yeah, it's a chimera. There you go.
I knew you guys were going to get there. I trusted you. I was letting the process happen. Let him cook.
Fine, I'll give Zach his ace up his sleeve. There is a genetic in ball pythons that I don't think we could produce in Retics, and it does hold a candle to them.
What?
Fucking monsoons.
Fuck monsoons.
What?
Yeah. No, I spent a fuck ton of money on them, and they never fucking bred for me until like way late. I was probably one of the first.
That's right.
20 people in monsoons.
You sold my car?
Yeah, I sold our fucking car, like our extra car, which, mind you, was a fucking brand new Honda, and bought 2 het monsoons. Not even fucking visuals. You couldn't even buy the visuals. They had a fucking 5-year waiting list for them bitches. And they just never went for me. By the time they went, everybody was already working on doubles and triples. I'm just like, fuck this.
That's the one thing though. Like I will say that again, versus is there is like a head of steam that gets lost. Like if you're working a new morph, like in ball pythons, and you're racing to it, and then the first guy that does it, it's like all of a sudden the guys that are showing up kind of towards the end are like, well, fuck this project. I don't want anything to do with it. Fucking fuck it. With us, it's like, okay, I wasn't the first to make it, but I'm going to make mine better. Watch what I do. I'm going to add this little sprinkle of sauce. It's like, you might not be the first, but you can still make yours better than the guy that made it first. Like you can perfect it and hone it. So
right. I mean, you could still do that. I would just I was racing just for that,
That's what I'm saying.
to be pretty first to market on that, and I missed.
But what the hell
is that?
Looking better.
That looks like that's a Retic clown.
This is an amber, which is pecan and orange ghost stripe.
It looks like a clown.
It does, actually.
Like, all jokes aside, it literally has like that clown pattern for my my snakes.
Yeah, the male. He's about a year old. Gonna run him to a pure female.
So
that's a mainland. That's a mainland that will be ran to a super dwarf, pure super dwarf, to make those in super dwarf.
But that's a boy, so he's going to stay smaller.
The boy, yeah, and the girl will be like Ember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Levi is like a retic.
Yeah.
I know you ain't talking.
Hey, remember, Levi came up to me at a show, random as shit, and goes, "I'm taller than you." And I was like, "Fuck it, whip it out." Sure as shit, I was taller than him.
By like 2 centimeters, bro. By like 2
taller
centimeters.
is taller. I have a whole 1.64 centimeters on him, so a win's a win. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
And you guys were laying down, right? When you were checking heights?
Yeah, we were laying down, measuring up.
Just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Want to make sure I understood. Yeah.
Yeah, we're both 5x5s. Call it 5 foot tall, 5 foot wide. That's we're both that.
We know those measurements. Let's pull them out and see those ones. Yeah. That's insane.
See, that's a crazy looking snake. But I don't know. I think the Killamaya is better.
I think it's wild. It just looks better the older it gets.
But see, that's the cool thing about Retics too, though, again, is like that allelic options that we have, right? Like we can go take this one genetic and play with that one genetic 5 different ways with another genetic to create different things, different colors, different patterns.
Yeah. Well, it also lets us control what we make.
Yeah, that too. It's more predictable than it is.
There's no normals.
Is there? You can't do that with ball pythons necessarily, right, Zach? Where you control what you're going to get.
Like how so?
I guess panda pied you can in ball pythons, right? You know you're going to hit pandas.
Which one's that?
Well, I mean, that's an easy one because it's like a super. So yeah, a super black pastel pied to a super black pastel pied. So you can control it, but by having the right parents.
Yeah. No, like it's definitely like for them, I mean, any super form, they have a lot more of their options of doing and controlling. It's just like we take that snake, like when it comes to not wasting a breeding or anything like that, there's just, you take that kind of allelic snake to anything, you're not making a normal. Whatever comes out of that is, even if it looks normal, it's head orange ghost stripe, or it's going to be a visual phantom. Like it just kind of controls it that way. With more, and then if you throw that amber to just a tiger or whatever, you're going to make tiger phantoms, tiger head orange ghost stripes. There's no normals in there at all. So it's a nice, easy gene to use and control with. But I mean, you do that with anything, any simple recessive or codom, even in super forms or allelics. I mean, you can do it with the blue-eyed Lucy's. It's a little bit harder, I would imagine, to determine what's what, but.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you mix it all up. But if you just did like super Mojave to super Mojave and you knew what they were, you're getting the same shit, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you get a Bell's phase and it was made with like a butter lesser. Those are pretty whites, right? So it's like then you go and you go produce them. Like, you'll have a good idea. You'll think, this one's pretty butterish. This one's pretty lesser-ish and stuff like that. It gets a little confusing where it's pretty stark with those. It's like it's a phantom, which is a completely different looking thing than a normal. So, but that normal is not really normal. It's head orange ghost stripe when it comes to that amber. And like cows for instance, or that's a cow actually. That's a pecan and that shit. But you get the point.
Again, we got that fun option too of sprinkling locality on top. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's dimensions like 4D chest.
I mean, you could probably fit like 4 of your mainlands in here, so whatever you can get out of that.
I don't know, man. You take 4 mainlands and you can make some pretty crazy shit depending on what you have in those mainlands.
Maybe.
And you're gonna have a wide variety with the amount of eggs that you're gonna produce.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Two clutches, your season's over. Yeah, you'll be spending the rest paying for that bill to feed them.
I mean, depends if you make the right
You're kind
thing.
of arguing against yourself at this point, though, because you've got a room of how many snakes?
Probably 400.
How much would it cost to feed 400 snakes? How much does it cost?
If I were to buy like all the rodents?
Yeah. What's the average small rat right now? I don't even know.
If you're buying wholesale in bulk, like $3.
Okay, hold on.
$1,200. All right. Yeah, it'd be like $1,200 a week to feed 400 snakes.
Yeah, so like $5,000 a month versus to feed that mainland, right? I'm gonna hit it with a pig, a rabbit, depending on the size. That's one expensive meal once every 2 weeks at maximum. And then the babies,
let's talk one for one.
Let's
talk one for one.
Babies will be expensive at the very first beginning of their life, but again, you're gonna go bigger meal, less amounts, bigger meal, less amounts. It's a better
okay. My adult ball python, 3, 6, 9, $12 a month.
Okay.
What is your one adult mainland eating a month?
$30.
Right. Just 3x mine.
Right.
If you had 400 of those, you're 3x that. So you're $15,000 a month.
If I had 400, but you're saying you use the example of like I could fit 4, which is comfortably 4 mainlands. I'm going to make just as many snakes as you are with more variety, depending on the genetics.
I don't know about variety.
Depending on what you throw in there with the genetics of a mainland.
Now you're talking my 400 versus your 4. I mean, yeah, I'm going to make more of a variety with 400 snakes.
Yeah, you'll make more variety, but again, your food bill's higher, your overhead's higher.
For sure. For sure.
4 enclosures, 4 heat sources. That's it. If I don't run ambient, but if I run ambient, no cost to heat.
Oh yeah, my electric bill's wild.
Oh, I can't fucking imagine what your electric bill looks like. What's your water bill look like with the rats and the snakes?
That's not too wild. Actually, I can't even. I got a fucking like an Olympic sized fucking pool, so water doesn't faze me except for the pool.
That's fair.
But I mean, no, the rats, they're not. The water ain't shit. It's the electric. The heat that goes on in this room is wild. And then I actually started something new this year. I'm running swamp coolers in the rat room for the first time. We'll see how it turns out. But running ACs, they're probably just for the animals alone in the electric bill is probably $700 a month.
How many swamp coolers are you running in there?
Right now, just one. And on 105-degree weather, it did not break 76 degrees. But it's a swamp cooler that'll fucking blow your fucking house over.
How big is it? Like,
so it's a 32-inch fan, and then it's like a 5-foot by 5-foot pad on the back, and then it blows probably about 20. I think it's like 23 miles an hour. It blows.
That should keep it cool enough.
Yeah, and I have 3 of those. I'm prepared, so.
I don't think you'll even need a second one, to be honest with you.
I mean, we'll see when it breaks 120, but at 105, my room did not break 76 degrees.
With one that's half that size in the garage, with the door closed, cracked, obviously, to keep the circulation, I can keep my garage at 85, 88.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. It's a lot of animals, but I had to try something. But that's the difference of, two 220-volt units going 24/7 to keep that room cool, or that one swamp cooler's fan and a little pump on it. So it should cut our electric bill into probably a quarter.
Yeah, definitely. Efficiency-wise, it's way better. I mean, if you needed to, too, like if you could add a second one, or I mean, potentially, I don't know how your room is set up. If you can cut a hole in the wall and make it like a mini split would be, where it's sucking in the fresh air, it's even better for it. Better circulation wise. It gets that airflow.
I have a 24-inch vent fan on the room too.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I doubt you'll need anything else. And then is your room in the sun? Is it directly in the sun for more than 12 hours a day?
All fucking day.
Oh, that might be a problem in 120.
Yeah. The sun just beats the whole building. Boom, 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 boom.
My house facing that way.
It was just the only spot to build the building on the property.
Now, since you're breeding for profit and the one snake and it produces the 30 babies and stuff like that, some of these clutches and stuff like that, our babies are valued pretty good. So at 30 at a pretty good value of desirable snakes, the profitability on that turns up quite significantly compared to even one clutch or a handful of clutches of ball pythons, unless you're working with some crazy triple recessives.
You're barking up the wrong tree on this one, Lee.
That pied that I brought up, this is the perfect looking pied. I turned down $40,000 for that animal, and it's not the first one turned down or sold. I have a brand new Mercedes sitting in my driveway that I traded 5 snakes for. It's a $50,000 car. So I mean, tit for tat, like one-on-one, it's probably similar.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I see what you're saying. Obviously, you have more years, but I'm just saying this one clutch of one animals that we picked up is going to produce the 30 eggs that you're saying, and that average cost of those babies is probably going to be about $1,000. So you're talking about a $30,000 clutch, if not more, off of one snake.
Right.
And it's a pretty average.
That's an animal. That's a high-end animal you bought to do that with, right?
No, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is it's a Mochino, which is one of those allelic forms of albino, and Phantom, which is a co-dominant, and then it's going to go to that orange snake that I showed you, which again is just a visual recessive orange ghost stripe, and Golden Child, which is just another co-dom. But you start putting those together. Now you're talking about making some albino cows, Mochino cows, just regular cows. Now you're going to throw Golden Child on top of those, which is sought after. Oh, I forgot to mention he's also Sunfire. So you have an enhancer gene in there that's going to hold the colors. So, I mean, you just have, what you're going to make with that is going to be pretty wild. It's what you make with it, but what's going into it is pretty average. But really, I'm only working on one recessive with that. I'm sure those $50,000 and $40,000 snakes you're talking about are multiple recessives. I would have to guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you were just taking any of your clutches where you're only working one recessive, just one, $30,000 or $40,000 off one clutch for one simple recessive pairing is pretty wild.
Right, but you
one simple recessive pairing.
If I'm talking one recessive like you're talking about, but you also fired off how many genes?
Oh boy, you can do it.
I mean, you can go one recessive with as many genes as you want on it as well.
No,
but you're only going to produce so many.
Watcher and the tongues are in the closet.
So, yeah, that's okay. Okay, so yeah, Zach, I don't know that you could do that, Zach. Not in the ball python market where you could buy let's say a $500 animal at any given time in the market and produce a Jesus Christ.
Well, so I bought the triple hets. I bought the pair for $2,000, and I made 2 of the triple visuals and turned down $40,000 for one. So it's essentially an $80,000 clutch for 2 of them. There were still 5 other babies that were worth, anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a piece. So it was close to $100,000 clutch on $2,500 investment. A lot of luck. Like I'm not. You can't normally go do that. That was a shit ton of luck. Yeah, I think it's doable. It's just your average. What is your average, right? And then on top of it, you got to sell them. Like
exactly,
you can make 30 snakes. Can you sell 30 snakes? Like
that's
it's
the
hard.
thing. Yeah, but again, if you go into it and we're trying to make cows, half the clutch is already going to be cows, so half the clutch is definitely sold. And then any of those that are albino and mochino, golden child and stuff, they're going to be, double the cost of even just a regular one. So I mean, yeah, they're going to be pretty wild.
What's the average cost of a cow right now?
Like $1,000 to. I mean, I've seen them as low as 700, but that's pretty rare. Most of them you see is like 700 to 1,200, depending on gender and age. That's for mainland. I mean, you start going super dwarf, you're talking 10, 15,000
for one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to bring I don't want to bring super dwarfs into it because that's not fair, and it gets really
right. They're still pretty new as well, so anything you hit is new.
Well, it's not even new. It's rare. They're very rare, and we can't get any more of them. So, like, you make a pure visual anery Karampa, it's only one simple recessive, and it's not even, like, really a crazy one. It just makes it's like your guys' Exanthic,
Right.
But you make that. I know of those that went for over $100,000 a piece. They're just rare. It was the first time they had been bred in the United States ever. And then to have a morph on top of it is pretty wild. So yeah, I mean it just gets kind of crazy when you start bringing like the super dwarf thing into it. But mainlands, I mean, a mainland's a good fair argument or a good like debate to have because it's been around, is as established, and the market is pretty wild. Because I could just make a bunch of tigers and you're going to beat me even with simple recessives, because I can't even fucking give away tiger as just a regular tiger,
right?
Mainland. Or, fill in the blank, Motley, Sunfire, whatever the fuck. If it's just a simple gene tiger or, mainland, it's going to be hard as fuck to get rid of. So you have to make something sought after for sure.
That's a hard question.
Low?
I didn't even see it.
Extremely fucking low? High-end.
What?
Either high-end percentage super dwarfs or high-end morphs sold to keepers, not breeders.
Right. So my high-end shit goes to breeders, and then my I don't call it low end, but it's low end. I call it show shit, pretty shit goes to keepers. But I mean, I breed low end shit like what you're talking about, like okay, $1,000 animals. I breed on purpose, $200 to $300 animals because they sell all day, guaranteed sales. Like I can make $1,000 animals all day, but they don't sell as fast. And then, to be honest, I get angry when I sell them for $400 when they're worth $1,000. So I'll shit out a bunch of bells. Like bells are a hot item, tides are a hot item. They're $200 all day. But when I go to a show and I sell 15 of them, that pays for my entire weekend.
Yep. Absolutely. But again, it's like you're playing the same game. It's just different. You just got to be smart about and thought out about what you're breeding to, you want to breed what you can sell. That's exactly what everyone should do. And not everyone does do that. I'm on every side of every reptile. But yeah, that's the goal is to, if we're going to breed if I'm going to be a part of like triple threat and we're breeding mainlands, we're going to fucking do a good one. We're going to do something right. So. Yeah. Good. This is a long one, guys.
It's been a good one though, because I was really excited about this because it's two I mean, popularity, conversation wise, two of the most talked about pythons in the world. I mean, I guess Berms, I'll give them their fucking light for a minute here. Berms,
What
balls,
are
Retics.
berms? What are berms?
But out of the three most talked about, we're talking about two of them. And I would argue the two most kept in the pet trade. So this is I think we're really just scratching the surface of what the conversation could be too. We've lightly touched on some very big subjects that could be dove into tremendously. Like we can go back and forth and up and down and left and right. Studies versus this versus that versus this versus
Well,
that.
we didn't touch a whole lot on the pet aspect of the animals, you know. I mean, we mentioned it, but we didn't really specifically say what a lot of the differences were when you just compare what we're doing, which is creating, you know, pets and you know, what are we doing with that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on it. It depends. We talked more about like how we personally keep them, but like Zach keeps his ball pythons different than like someone that's getting the ball python for a pet, you know. And you saw his card. I think what you went up to like 40 gallon was like your biggest on your back of your card. I think it was like 10 to 40, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 10 to 40. Yep.
10 to 40. So, I mean, he goes to 40 gallons. I mean, I think we said we topped out, like, depends. Super dwarves around 6 foot. You know, if you want to give it a lot of space and room and feel good about yourself, you know, 6 foot. If you got a big dwarf or whatever, 8 foot mainlands, you know, fucking a building. But with the ball python, 40 gallon tank, I mean, definitely the size of the enclosure is a lot less on a ball python.
It's not always about the size of the enclosure. It's about the space being used, Lee.
Yeah.
You can stick a super dwarf in a 6x2x2 and still starve it of thriving the same way you can sticking a ball python on a rack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the same time, though, you know, he says 40 gallon, but you can stick a ball python in a fucking 6 foot enclosure too. I mean, you can stick it in whatever. But
there's also different shaped 40 gallons too for ball pythons. I always tell people I like the lower ones with more foot space.
Yeah.
I've seen them do a lot better. Because they don't climb. Well, I mean, you're talking about climbing. You're talking about climbing in a 18-inch enclosure that's a fucking 10-foot snake.
What? I've gone all arboreal at this point, bro. Like all my shit's up and down. I don't know where you got 18 inches from.
His shit's 8 foot tall.
8 foot tall by 4 foot by 4, 8 by 4 by 4 with all climbing up and down and sideways. And my mainland goes twisting, turning, going up and down, and she's in heaven.
Yeah, I'm 630 by 2 with a shelf in there for them to go up and down.
I mean, to say ball pythons don't climb is absurd at this point.
I got a water ball.
You're a fucking kid.
I know, wonderful.
So I got a handful with hides, but that's just for eating purposes.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure if you're keeping them, like if you were keeping them just to keep them, I'm sure your setups would be a lot different.
Oh, for sure. If they were just pets, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I have some of them like I'm almost pissed off about. Like they're beautiful and I would love to see them every day, but sometimes I got ones in tubs that like are almost like, why would it be in that small tub? And every time I upgrade it, he stops eating. So I downgrade it back again, and then he eats fine. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think to talk about like breeders versus keepers probably keep them with more enrichments, definitely.
Have you tried enriching those ones that you upgrade, like putting more clutter and things for them to do? And
yeah, I have like, believe it or not, I have a crate full of like fake plants and hides and things like that I'll throw in with them as well to try to get them to like that upgraded tub, because I need that upgraded tub for them to grow faster, you know?
Yeah.
And they just won't eat
yes,
still?
and yes, you know, yes, it does work sometimes.
Okay. I'm just curious, just on studies that have been done.
Yeah, no, I'll never lie. You know me, I don't lie about it.
That's the one thing I will give ball pythons too, is you guys, scientifically speaking, smoke retics. There's way more known about a ball python than there is a fucking retic.
Well, it's because there's 1,000 people that have a room like this.
Yeah.
I really wish we could scientifically catch up to the ball python market. Shed testing, DNA testing, blood tests, all the shit. All the studies that have been done on ball pythons and the massive amount of people that travel to Africa to actually go learn about them. And I mean massive amount as compared to people that go to Indo to study them. We have what? How many people leave that have been to Indo to study them? Probably like 3 that you can name off the top of your head.
Yeah, but there's a lot of give and takes with that. One, their market and the money that's behind ball pythons is way more, so it makes more sense to have that studies and stuff. Like people were clamoring for that. Like there's just a lot. At some point, retics will probably be there with genetics testing and stuff like that. They're working on it, but they're just like the market wasn't like what was necessitating that for
right. The ball python market helps that industry because it feeds the money.
Yeah, well, and then without the ball python market wanting that and making that a thing, the retics wouldn't even have that as a possibility. So we do have to give credit to that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd argue that it would. It
depends. If you're trying to go study retics in general, a lot of people have done that, and that's easy because you can go to a lot of the different countries of mainlands pretty easily. Now, if you're talking about the localities that we work with, it's extremely difficult to get to those secluded islands on that island chain. It's just hard to get there. It's hard to plan it and all that shit and get travel set up to hit those islands. It's just not as easy as to set up a trip to Africa, especially in like the areas and where they're exporting and getting these.
Again, I'll just throw my 2 cents out there. If somebody in the ball python market were to go out and study localities, might be something there.
I mean, I think they do. When I was watching Dave Kaufman's videos, there's certain areas or localities, if you will, or regions in which they find a lot of the morphs and stuff like that. But I think once they group them all together and they fucking breed them in their farms there, the locality thing, so it's gone before, you can even really put anything to it. They don't separate them out where they're collecting them. That's the issue.
See, that's something that ball pythons can't have. You can't hear your fucking snake climbing around in its enclosure.
I can hear them smacking the tubs and farting.
I can hear my mainling climbing around in her fucking enclosure right now. It's pretty crazy. You could tell when her body thrusts against the side or comes up and goes down.
Yeah, but you might have to check.
They're powerhouses.
What's her name? Esther, I think. She's in blue.
He's in trouble. He's up too late. What time is it in Texas? 11:30?
Oh shit! No, I think it's 12:30.
I don't even want to say, but yeah, it's 12:30.
Oh yeah, bedtime for him.
Yeah, well, it's also feeding time for a few animals real quick. Oh shit, I gotta feed them before I take off. So I forgot I was taking off this weekend.
All right, boys. Well, on that note, with it being late, Zach, I think we're gonna have to do a part 2.
I'm with it.
But Super Dwarves only this time. No mainland talk. Then we'll have a real fair fight.
That would be a fair fight for sure.
Yeah, we'll get that on the books. We'll get it planned out. We'll go SD versus Super Dwarfs versus balls and get that conversation hammered out. But I think this was a good one to get a wide, vast conversation of many debates taken care of.
Awesome.
Lee, take it out.
And we all got along. We had a conversation like adults, all got along. We're still friends, guys. It's possible. We can have these discussions and still be friends.
I'll never not love Zach.
Hey, I was supposed to ask
wonderful.
who was your haters today, Bill?
Oh yeah. I'll message you. I will.
No, we needed it public.
You ain't getting that.
All right, I appreciate you guys having me on, though.
It was in generalized terms, you know.
Maybe
No, I
you
know.
hang out.
I just like
Maybe
stirring
hang
the
out
pot.
backstage. Just hang out backstage.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
All right.
Of course, Zach.
All right. See you guys later. Have a good one. See you next week. Bye-bye.